Let's hit record. And this will be session number 2 of the... Well, I'm calling it the Descent at the moment, but I guess it's sort of like a Descent into Avernus without the Avernus or anything else at the moment, because Wizards won't give me the book for free, nor will they give it to me early, so... Till I can get to that... let's see, though. So we opened up last session, got a brief overview of all of the players and characters. Opened it up. All of you have been in prison for a different amount of time here and there. Getting the hang of sort of things how they go. You all were in the Eastern Bloc for the time being. But as we opened things up and sort of set the scene, all of you were working down in the mines. That's where everybody who comes to this prison always starts. You gotta kind of prove yourself to get moved out of the mines and into the upper class, the upper citizenry of the prison. But you started down in the mines and were attacked by these strange, almost look like amphibious or fish-like creatures that crawled up through the rock itself, along with one larger mutated toad-like creature. They all sort of had this demonic or abyssal, infernal sort of look to them. They seemed to give off quite a bit of heat. They were a bit resistant to some of your flame spells. Seemed to take a bit more damage from the ice ones, but all in all, they were not natural creatures to this realm. Even the guards themselves, the sentinels down here in the prison and down here in the mines, were caught off guard by these creatures. 3 of them were killed right away, with another 7 basically hauling ass to get to the elevator and get themselves up out of the way of these things. There was a good chunk of inmates down in these mines as you guys tried to fight back. Some of them looking for an opportunity to get ahead, be it through stealing weapons or whatnot, or taking aggressions out on each other. But in the end, all of you prevailed. These fish-like demon creatures killed this large toad, getting rode around upon by, Meike, stabbed through the head a couple times. Kavil, you were swallowed whole, your legs dangling out like spaghetti noodles. In the end, everybody fell except for Quinn, who the guards turned their arrows upon too, for eventually forcing her to black out. You all awoke in cells with, I gotta remember names here, with Mithra and Kavil. You guys were in one, along with Quinn and Meike. You were in the opposite. Sort of got to chat with one another, catch up a little bit, get to know each other outside of what little bit you already did. You found that you have been moved to the Western Bloc of cells. The time differences are a little bit different here. You're not quite sure how long you guys were out for, but not too long after you got up and started talking, you were eventually ushered down into the mess hall or the leisure bowl or the leisure basin for some food and to prepare for the day. You did get to meet a fellow across the cellways, this large, blonde-haired, blue-eyed, would be quite handsome if it wasn't for the spider tattoos across his face and the large tattoos across his chest and this sort of grisly look that he seemed to carry himself with. What was his name? Sedekis was his name. Sedekis Crane. Somebody did mention, but he was a leader of the Bloodfang gang. Down in the mess hall, you guys gathered up some food, sat down at a table, chatted a little bit, shared some rumors, and you were confronted by a large orc who was one of the sentinels here. He gave you all jobs, let a couple of you pick, but when he didn't pick, he just kind of assigned you something, and we ended up with new jobs for all of you. Meike, you have been given maintenance. Mithra in the kitchen, Kavil in the laundry, and Quinn janitorial services. As he walked away, you guys all saw this old man who looked like he was probably in his 70s at the least, hustle over and get a bowl of gruel and a bit of bread, and he was trying to make his way to a table, and a couple of the orcs that were sitting at a table tripped him up, spilled his food across the floor, and gave him a couple kicks and stole his bread. I think Meike, you kind of stepped in. They didn't seem like they really wanted beef with y'all and didn't push the fact anymore. Basically just got their licks out on this old fart and walked away. At that, you helped him up, and he introduced himself as Old Man Murros, but you can call him Murray. And he has been here for quite a while, from what you know, but he thanked you quite graciously for what you did and wiped himself off the best he could and gathered up what little bit he had left in his bowl to eat. Not long after that, the bell rang and everybody was shuffling off to their own corridors. The guard came over and kind of motioned for all of you to get in your places as well. Murray took you, Malachi, because he seems he is in maintenance as well, and got in line. And we pretty much ended it there with everybody getting in line for their duties for the day. Anything anybody wants to add? Beautiful. You guys should have all access to your character sheets if you need them, and the note sheet that's over there. If you need anything off those, just let me know. Let me bring it up on mine real quick so I have it.
Can we have the link again?
You sure can. That's what I'm getting right now.
Make a bookmark.
Let's see. Avernus. Let's see. Get shareable link. I'll put it right in the Facebook chat. I actually have some different pictures and stuff too that I'll be able to share. So have your Facebook chat either like on the computer or on your phone or something. And we'll have it. And since you guys met Old Man Murray, I got a picture of him, a better picture than I had last time. Put in there. I think that is the only picture for right now. Yeah, okay. Excuse me. All right, so I'm all good on my end. I think that pretty much covers everything. We will open with you, Micah, doing your sort of flashback. How you want to do that is totally up to you, and then we will kick things off and check out the scenery and the janitorial services. So, all yours.
Okay. No pressure.
Pressure is on.
An older woman, haggard, tired eyes, ragged clothes, approaches the leprechaun's leeches, a small shop selling herbs, ointments, and other odds and ends, including leeches, which are displayed in huge tanks in the large window next to the shop's entrance. Close by, a very, very young Cavil, sitting behind a tiny transportable table strewn with the weirdest things, little vials containing chips of metal or tiny pieces of bone, symbols of various gods, some of them halfway hidden under a piece of cloth. Old books on strange subjects but wait. The woman leaves the shop again. She is in tears, wringing her hands while stopping on the doorstep and looking back into the twilight of the business she just left. The potion would cost me all the silver I have. I wouldn't be able to buy food for a fortnight for the family anymore, she mutters, begging, apparently dressing the clerk inside. And what am I supposed to eat if I just give away everything for free, crone? We hear the answer. That makes her turn back to the street again. Cavil, staring without shame, looks after her as she hobbles in the direction of a dark, smelly alley. With a few practiced moves, vaults a table, items still on its surface, to a box-sized coffer, and runs after her. Before he reaches her, a kind smile stretches over his lips. Wait, mother, wait! I couldn't help listening in. What causes you such distress? He asks with a deep, calming voice. The young man has practiced this for years, and coming of age just made it perfect. The crone stops, hope in her eyes as she answers, while tears stream down her face. My husband, he needs medicine to help with his lungs. He won't make it much longer if I can't pay for the potion, but I just can't afford it. I just can't. Don't worry, Mother. I wanted to keep it for myself, but I see you need it more than I do. He displays a pained face, as giving away this treasure is weighing down on him. His free hand opens and shows a piece of red string in a generic vial, like the ones we had seen resting on his merchant's table. This is a piece of Ilmater's restraints. It has healing properties when you wear it around your neck. I'm sure it will make your husband as healthy as a newborn in no time. I don't have much money, young man. 34 silver is all we could save up in the last years, she says, hope gone from her eyes, but they immediately light up again in gratitude as Kavil smiles, his selling smile again, saying, that's enough. I'm glad if I can help you. I wouldn't be able to sleep knowing I didn't help someone in need. The camera zooms out. We see how the crone puts a little purse into Kavil's hand, pulls down his head and kisses his forehead in gratitude. And a very happy Kavil walks down the main street a moment later. 2 days later, a funeral is being held. A procession of the poorest of the poor walks the alleyway. They aren't allowed to clog up the main streets to the cemetery. A simple coffin, probably used before, is being carried in the middle of the procession. And in front walks a crone, clutching a little vial with a red string inside to her chest, crying tears of deepest grief. The end.
Beautiful. Excellent.
Yeah, that was excellent.
And with that, the camera will fade to this dark crimson sort of shadows as it comes back to Skrimshaw Prison, or the Iron Scar, deep underneath the bowels somewhere near Baldur's Gate, north of this recluse city. It's going to look at you first, Malachi, as you stand amongst a group of 12, 13 other individuals. All of them have this heavy denim-like uniform on. You see this orc that gave you this job come over and shove a pair in your hands as well and motion for you to put them on. All the others look quite calloused. Heavy worked hands, grease covers them. And they smell of oil and brimstone, soot, dirt. And Murray beside you will bend over. You can hear his back creaking as he does so. And a bit of a sigh as he lurches a little. You can see the pain on his face from just old age. And slips his heavy boots on and these overalls and pulls them up onto himself. Says, well, first day for you, rookie. Stick behind me and I'll show you how it goes. They give you this sort of a firm grip, stronger than what you'd really expect out of him, on your shoulder, and shakes you a little bit, Malachi. Yes, I'll make sure you're with me today. You don't have to worry about these other assholes. They get a little bit rowdy sometimes. But you and I, we got work to do on the cadaver.
As Malachi starts to take off his shirt and put on these denim overalls, the old man Monroe will notice evenly spaced circles along both sides of his spine, almost like scabs, like wounds, but darker, like they've been there for a long time. Oh, no problem, old man. Sounds good. Need somebody to show me what's going on.
You see, he does eye them curiously, but kind of shrugs and get the sense that he doesn't want to pry in your business, and people tend to keep to themselves a bit. But at the head, you can see these people start filing through. 4 sentinels lead ahead, 2 in the front, 4 sentinels lead you, 2 in the front, 2 in the back. As you move down this hallway, 13 of you total, counting yourself and Murray, lead you down this long hallway, a good 100 yards or so before they come to a gate. And the guards up front pick up the small little mirror that's been sort of set on the shelf at the side and just kind of scans it across all of you, and you can feel your eyes, just this bright, blinding flash of white in your eyes as you go blinded for a moment as the light reflects off this mirror. Takes a few minutes, Malachi, but you feel a rough hand grab you by the shoulder and sort of push you ahead. Everything around you is almost like a wet oil painting. It's blurry, the colors sort of smeared together. You turn to left, then left again, walk a little distance, and then you can feel yourself being forced down a set of stairs, turn right and down another set of stairs.
I'm going to make like a natural want to just count the steps. Left, count the steps, left. Down the stairs, how many stairs? I'm going to make a mental.
Good. Or the technicalities won't really matter as long as you get the basics for it, but they lead you and finally they'll stop. You hear this iron grate sort of sound, and you get the sense that there's a door, or like your cell door is opening. You push through, and then you hear them slam behind you. It takes another 3 or 4 minutes before your eyes start to readjust to the lights. You look around. You're in this large, cavernous room. The ceiling itself above you is natural rock with stalactites hanging down, but around you, all the floor has been cleared out. Probably a good maybe 80, 90 yards in diameter, the circular room. People bustle here and there, some of the others that you came down here with. But Murray will look over and, come on. We got cadaver duty. With that, he starts walking you along the side wall. You'll pass by a couple more sentinels who stand there. They have these long sticks in their hands, almost like batons or nightsticks, but the ends of them all glow with a red light. And he'll come around a corner, and ahead of you, you see a wagon. I'll put a picture over in the Facebook chat of this thing. It is completely decked out, these large wooden wheels. It looks like the horns off of some massive great beast curl around the front of it. Wagon in the back is piled full of tar-pitched hay and dirt and rubble. On the back side of it is what looks to be almost a makeshift catapult type thing. The driver's seat in the beginning, tools are scattered all about the floor around it. He'll look at this and says, don't know what the warden has planned, really, but seems this is his new game, and we're the ones to build it. He says, come on, I'll show you what we got to do. He starts picking up some of these different tools, organizing things a little bit. And he basically goes through and he'll start showing you how to take off the wheels and what you're replacing, some things that you're fixing on it. Just basic maintenance work on this thing. Says, so we got to ask, got to start somewhere, have a bit of conversation. Says, what brought you in here?
Is that really the first question you're going to come at me with?
Well, I'd ask you how the weather was, but fuck knows, we ain't seen that in days, years, some of us.
Got into a situation where the other person seemed to be there at the wrong spot at the wrong time. That's all I'm really going to say right now. Get to know you a little better, old man.
I understand.
What about you? How long you been here?
42 years, maybe a little bit longer. Days blend together, nights don't really exist.
The hell did you do to get here 42 years?
Kind of like yourself, I guess. Wrong place, the wrong time. My family paid dearly for it. Still do to this day. But at least they're safe now. I made sure of that. Says, why don't you grab that pry bar over there? We need to get this wheel off. He points over. You'll see this bar lying across the floor. Looks like it's made out of steel. And you go over and pick it up. You can feel energy just vibrating off of this thing. He says, Sentinels brought that down a couple years ago. Apparently, Some old grave digger used to use that to pry open coffins. Does a hell of a job on these wheels, though. And it shows you how to start prying off these wheels as you begin to replace them with much larger, heavier wooden wheels. Big, huge knots on the ends of the, I guess, tires, as you would call them.
Can I do an Arcana check on the bar? Basically, when Malachi picked up the bar, obviously old Monroe wouldn't have noticed, but his eyes would have completely flashed over black and a smile would have creeped across his face, knowing the attachment to death that this thing must have. But I just want to see if I can elaborate on that with the Arcana check.
Yeah, totally. Go ahead and give me a roll.
7, and I just gotta check out my page real quick. It's right there. I have it all up. Arcana would be +5, so it's 12.
You can definitely see this thing is heavy worn. It's about 4 feet long, quite large for a pry bar. The end of it hooked over, scarred up pretty bad. The energy that comes off this thing, it doesn't feel morbid or dark, really, but it's definitely, there's magic in this thing of some sort. When you go to pry this tire off, you barely really have to give it a crank, and it seems almost like the bar itself does most of the work. And you'll hear this sort of almost like somebody's knocking on a door just every time you pop a tire off. It seems to ring out of this thing. And tire will pop off. And it works, as you work our way all the way around this thing. But it always has that tingle to it, like just a little bit of electricity tickling your fingertips.
Nice. Yeah, I wouldn't ask many questions. I would just follow what the old man was doing and try not to be a putz.
It'll work for a good 2, maybe 3 hours before you hear this heavy whistle echo through this chamber. In the distance, this bright light all of a sudden appears, and you can hear grinding noises. And you'll see another one of these wagons like you're working on being pulled through by what looks to be a large donkey type creature, but it's much shaggier than normal. And it pulls through, pulling in another one. And beside that, this tall man walks beside it, looking around. And he'll lock eyes with you, as well as the old man. And you see his corner of his mouth curls up a little bit. He'll stop, motions for this creature to pull the wagon over to the side, and then he starts walking your way. You see Murray look over and says, shit, here we go. Just keep your mouth shut.
Fully up.
So just keep your mouth shut for a few moments, kid, and we can deal with this in a hurry. And he'll stand there waiting, looking rather annoyed at this fellow who's walking over. And with that, we're going to hop over to Mithra. Put you on the spot. So in your little ragtag group, you can see it's mostly females. The prison is apparently quite sexist, and females are supposed to be in the kitchen, it seems. Besides this one little halfling fella, this great big smile on his face. And I'll put a picture of him over there, too. There we go. He's not very smiley in the picture, but see these little pointed ears off to the side, this dark skin. He has a very well trimmed goatee, and his hair's cut quite nice. And he'll looks around at all these other folks and just kind of shakes his head. And you can see he digs around in his pocket and pulls out the small little silver coin that he rolls through his knuckles. And he sort of gets to place in line. And you look down at this little fella, and he'll look up, smiling, puts his coin back in his pocket and holds his hand up. You can see on his right hand, he only has 3 fingers, just the 3 middle ones, his pinky and thumb missing. He says, "Ha! You must be a newbie. What's your name? What's your name?"
It's Mithra. Why are you the only... You look like you're the only one who's here cooking who's not a girl. What the hell's up with that?
Says, "You can call me Banwin." And he kind of portions you forward and says, "Because I like to play." Says, I got the perfect job in here. All these pretty ladies, Lost a couple fingers in the process, but it's worth it.
From the ladies?
Maybe. So, you're on the kitchen crew, huh? Says, well, you stick to me. You stick to me, pretty lady, and I'll show you how to run this joint.
All right, that sounds good. I don't want to get in any trouble. I mean, to be honest, I'd rather get out of here, but...
Yeah, wouldn't we all? But we all know there ain't a chance in hell of that. Says, unless, of course, you're small enough to fit down the garbage shaft. But, well, you don't want to go down there either. I hear there's crocodiles and worms and, other gross things down there. Well, an impeccable man like myself, I don't want to be getting dirty. I just like to chop up a few veggies, cook up a little bit of gruel, get a few kisses from the ladies. I'm a happy little man.
I guess that sounds okay, but... I mean, I don't want to spend that much time here.
I hear that. He says, well, you stick with me and we'll show you how it's done. He says, and by the way, you just want to stay away from that one over there. And he'll point over. You see this, you think maybe it's a woman. You assume so. It's quite large, stands about 7 feet or so, just covered in thick tufts of hair. But when she does look over her shoulder, you can see it is a woman, just some sort of more orcish humanoid creature. Not quite sure exactly what it is. And she looks down at this little halfling bandwin and snarls at him before she turns back in line, and everybody starts getting ushered through. You don't have far to go. They basically just bring you back through these side doors over by where you picked up the gruel and into the kitchen area. It's a long chamber, about the size of a small sports field maybe, and both sides of this kitchen area are just lined with counters and bowls of water, soap, scrubs. You see dishes are clattered all over the counters. And Ben says, come on, hurry up. We need to get to the back. We get the fun part. And you can see he just takes off running towards the back of this place.
All right, I'm going to follow him. I'm going to run after him.
He'll lead you to the back, and you just see these large wooden barrels just filled with garbage all the way down through, leftover bits of food. He says, you don't want to be...
Fun part.
He says, yeah, man. Look at, this is what you do, And he'll reach into his pocket, and he pulls out a couple small little bags. They look like coin pouches you would have, but the inside of them is lined with this thick, waxy sort of stuff. And he gives you 2 of them. He says, look, this is what you do. He's put them in your pockets like this, right? And I always get this job because, well, all the best bits are always left over. This way I got a snack tonight. So you just, once we got it through, we're going to have to take care of this garbage. We're going to throw it down the shaft. But if you see something tasty, just put it in your pocket. Nobody will notice. He'll go over to one of these barrels and start rolling to the side, sort of tips it over and starts shoveling bits and pieces down this. It's a hole in the floor, probably about 2 feet in diameter or so. Every now and then, picking out a morsel, sniffs it and puts it in his pocket.
What do you keep that all for yourself, or do you sell it, or what do you do with this extra food?
Darling, don't you know us halflings? We get to have breakfast, we get to have late breakfast, we get to have early lunch, a little bit of lunch later on. Don't forget brunch. And like an early mid-afternoon snack, sometimes a bit of dinner. I gotta keep this belly up somehow.
All right. Thought maybe this was a money-making scheme, but okay.
What? Selling my morsels of food for money? Nah. I got all the money and loving I need here.
Why do you like this place so much? You're like really content with being here.
He says, yeah, I know my place here. Back up when I used to be in Waterdeep, living on the streets and bouncing from bed to bed and couch to couch. I mean, sure, I stayed warm every night, but I stay warm here too. And some nights I didn't get to eat all that well, and sometimes I had to sell myself out for, worse things. Down here, get all the food I want and get to mingle with the ladies every day. I mean, a man like me, he's got it made. So you just got to stay out of the way of the brutes, and, well, they don't pay much attention to me. I can just scurry on past, so ain't nothing. So you'll understand in time. It may not be the prettiest places. No, not at all, but it's home. I went back up there. I don't know what I'd do with myself.
That makes sense. I mean, I can understand that, the stability. That girl you told me to stay away from, what is her deal? Is she like the boss?
It's like this, I mean, I don't know where your culture's like and where you're from, but back when I was just a wee little halfling, we call them the weelings, and used to go to school, and every now and then we'd get out of class and head down to the mess hall, get a bit to eat, and there's always that one lunch lady, the one that stared at you and slapped the food on your plate. That's like her. She just rubs me the wrong way. She's always bitching and whining about stuff. Can you believe she tells me I steal food?
No, I can't believe that.
Exactly. Old wench anyway. Just stay out of her way and you'll be fine and content. Says back here we got the easy job, just tipping out the garbages and, well, yeah, no time at all. We can pack up the pantry, get ready for lunch, dice up a little bit of meat for later, and, well, we get to have some lunch. You're more than welcome to sit at my table. I'll share some of my
stick
snacks.
with you. You seem like you know what's going on.
Oh, yeah. You stick with old Banwin. I'll tell you what's going on.
I like this guy.
And he'll get back to work, basically just shoveling garbage down these holes in the floor, and every now and then picking out the good stuff for his pockets. Taking a snack now and then. He always looks around first to make sure nobody's watching. If he takes his own little snack, though, of course. And by the time you reach the end of this little garbage lineup, he'll show you where to pile up all the barrels over to the side. Leads you out, and you guys end up placing some of them out in the main mess hall. Sentinels watching the entire time, of course. You get back into this main kitchen area, and you can hear a bit of a ruckus over to the side, and this elven woman, heavily scarred up and covered in these old tattoos that are starting to fade. Her skin's a little bit leathery, and Meike lets out a scream as she starts to run back. And Ben will look over and says, shit. And got to deal with this again, looks like. And says, just if they get close to you, just kick the little bastards. That's all you got to do. Just give them a good kick. He says, come on. And he'll start rushing over, and you see several of these other women just kind of get out of the way, screaming. And there's going to be 3 large furry rats on the floor, their teeth just dripping with this putrid sort of color as they start squealing and chasing after people. And we will hold you for a moment as we swap over to Quinn. You're standing in line. It's not much of a line, you'd realize, as there's really only 2 other people here with you. Seems the janitorial job really isn't all that popular amongst the folk. This old, raggedy-looking fellow sort of stares there, looking at you. He smells bad, very bad. You can't quite place the stench that comes off. It's not really body odor, but it's not good either. There's a picture of him over in the chat. His eyes are sort of squinky, heavy bags under him, and you see his chin is, I don't know, it looks like somebody just bit off of a chunk of it in the middle. He's dressed in what everybody else is, but he sort of makes this makeshift hood. He basically pulled his t-shirt up and over top of his head a little bit to make a hood out of his shirt. It's quite awkward looking. And he stares at you with these little black, beady eyes. And you'll notice that one thing that does seem a bit odd. He looks human for the most part, but these eyes, just white with a black pupil. There doesn't seem to be much else there, just blackness and the white contrast. Stares at you and just in silence for a few minutes. You see one of the sentinels come over. The other folk that's there is this larger woman, looks to be maybe in her 30s or so, just covered in scabs and little small lesions, boils. And you can see he talks to her in a different sort of language. She nods and heads through a door to the side before he turns to you. He says, you got sewer duty. Now get out of here. You see this man look at you and fuck. And he'll sort of tug you along, says, come on, rookie. You're working with me. What's your name?
Name's Quinn.
Well, Quinn, I hope you don't mind a bit of stench. It's going to be a little filthy down there today.
I can hardly wait.
Well, if you need anything, you just call me. My name's Coyote.
Coyote?
Like the dog.
Did you come up with that yourself, or your parents just really creative?
Nah, had one bite my leg once when I was just a little one. Kicked it in the jaw, and, well, I showed her who was boss. My sister called me that, called me Coyote Killer. But, no, I just like the name. I think has a bit of a ring to it. Real name's Corleone Baker. But you can call me Coyote. It says...
Coyote? Sure. That's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So what's that other fellow you've been talking with over there? And sort of nods at Malachi as he's heading through the doorway. Says, looks a bit like you. That's your brother.
I mean, I kind of take that as an insult. I'm clearly the more attractive one, but yeah, sure, he's my brother.
Better watch himself for that old man. This man, he'll go through a couple of doors to the side, and then you start going down this flight of stairs, just deeper and deeper and deeper. You can feel the heat start radiating up as it gets hotter, and the smell will hit you of human waste, of rotting food, of old sewer, just absolutely disgusting. He'll reach into his pocket and pull out a clothespin. Says, here, put it on your nose. Won't be so bad. Shouldn't breathe through your mouth either.
Yeah, sure. Real creative technique you got here. You've been doing this for a while?
Going on 4 years. It's better than working in the kitchen with all those wenches and that little bastard halfling. I did maintenance once, but, well, me and Murray didn't get along. So this is what I do. I'm going to go down, clean up a bit of the garbage, do a bit of herding. Won't be too bad. Just smells like shit.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in some pretty tough conditions myself. The smell's not really that bad, and if I can, I'd like to cast prestidigitation and just cause a slightly flowery kind of odor just above my nostrils to kind of mask it, maybe like some lavender or something.
See his eye shift over, look at you. Says, what'd you do, fart?
Yeah, that's what my farts smell like.
Well, I'd sniff your ass any day. Come on.
I'll take that as a compliment, I guess.
Yeah, leads down these steps. Keeps going and keeps going. You had to guess you probably went a good 200-300 yards down beneath this place. Just this long shaft of steps. Finally hitting the end is this gate doorway, a sentinel standing there, and he'll reach over and he smacks this nightstick type thing he has against the bars, and it'll clank open as he steps aside. The garbage eaters are down the hallway. Clean them up, Coyote. Take your little friend with you. Then you got to go clean the mess, too. Says, looks like a lot of garbage there today. You guys will step through, and this sentinel slams the gate shut and takes a seat on the steps. Sort of takes out this small little book in his pocket and starts reading, waiting for you guys to get back. Coyote will look around. And, well, you want to go herd the slugs first, or do you want to go shovel the waste? I'll let you have your pick.
I mean, I'm the rookie here. What's the most efficient way that you can rationalize doing this? I'm here to learn.
Well, you came to the right spot.
Right.
So I can teach you. Don't you worry. She'll start leading you down the hallway. Says, you know what I hate, Quinn? I hate that goddamn solitary confinement. Always throwing me in there. I'm sick of it. You know what I think I'm gonna do? When we get back and we go through those gates, tell you what, I'm gonna grab that guard, snap his neck. You kick him in the nuts as hard as you can, huh? We're gonna get out of here. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get out of here. Me and you, Quinn. So we ain't got time for you to get your brother, though.
Are you still talking to me? Sorry, I kind of zoned out there.
Yeah, let me repeat that for you.
Oh no, no worries. I'm sure it's not that important.
He'll come around the corner, and you see this great heaping pile of food and waste. Every now and then, more garbage seems to fall down the shaft and splatter across it. Over to the side are 4 carts, kind of like mine carts, a couple shovels. He says, yeah, grab yourself a shovel. Don't have any gloves. Keep on farting because you don't want to smell this all day long. So shovel it into the carts, wheel it down the hall, put it in the incinerator. Don't fall in because it's hot as a bitch. He'll grab his shovel and just start shoveling. It's basically all the leftover food coming from the kitchen now that keeps splattering down. Shovel it into these carts, filling them up.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
He'll get through, fill up 1 cart, and second he'll get his 2 carts filled up. Most of the waste has come down through already, and what's left a little bit, he just kind of looks at it and says, we'll get the rest of this with lunch. Pile's always a bit smaller at lunchtime. People are hungrier after work, and well, it's not quite as hard to work. Says, we'll wait until after lunch to take out that guard and get the hell out of this place. You can run fast, right, Quinn? You fast at running?
Oh yeah, I like the wind.
Oh, I'm like a coyote, I can run like a coyote and dance like a dog. That's what she used to tell me anyway.
I mean, I'm a bit of a smoker though, so I'm not kind of an endurance runner. So I might just sit this one out.
Well, I guess if that's what you want to do, but you stick with me and we'll be out of here in no time. But come on, let's get rid of these carts.
And what, you just got some master plan, or does it just pretty much end after I kick the guard in the nuts? Because I like a little more than just like 2 steps, I'm kind of like a multiple step kind of gal.
You like the old 12-step plan, huh? Yeah. I've only figured out to step 3 at the moment, but I'm a master at winging it.
That far.
I'm a master at winging it. I'm like a dog with wings. What are they called? Pegasus or something? That's me.
Yeah, I think that's what they are called, Pegasus.
We're just gonna wing it, Take out that guard. I snap his neck and you kick him in the nuts for good measure. And then we're gonna run up them stairs. Granted, there's a good flight there, but I got the endurance of a dog. If I have to put you on my shoulders, I don't mind.
I mean, I'm a bit confused here. Am I kicking him in the nuts before or after you snap his neck? Because after the nep snack, it kind of just seems a bit arbitrary at that point.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm going to have to think about this a little bit.
Yeah, let's think about this after lunch, I think. I think better after a full belly worth of meal,
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, maybe that's what we'll do. I'll hold off snapping this. If you want to kick him in the nuts when we leave, though, I'm okay with that.
I like the 1-2 combo you got going in your mind there with the nut kick to the neck snack. That's a real dirty way to go down.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I'm quite an ingenious plan maker,
I definitely see why they call you the coyote killer. Those coyotes probably didn't stand a chance against you, pal?
They didn't. Come on, we gotta get rid of this garbage. You talk a lot. You talk like don't have all this time for this talking, We don't get to work, then sentinels are going to be shoving the batons up our ass, and things are going to get a bit rough. So quiet down a little.
Stop. So I guess I better shut up then.
Yeah. You better quiet down a little bit. He'll start pushing his carts down. You go down this hallway, and then he just dumps them off into a pit in the ground. You can feel the heat radiating up, and get the sense it must be coming from somewhere around the mines. It's just an inferno of heat that rolls up. He'll dump his cart down there, push the second one down, and dump it out of the way. As you come forward and dump off your last cart, says,
yeah.
You know what I hate, Quinn? You want to know what I hate?
Is it like just when you have this random small talk that just doesn't really seem like it's ever going to end? Because yeah, it's terrible. I agree.
Oh, I hate it when people do that, but don't you worry, Quinn. You don't have to worry about that with me. You know what I hate, though? I hate that damn solitary confinement. It pisses me off. Oh, hey, you want to see my snake?
Hard pass.
I said, no, yeah, that's what we'll do. Come on, I'll show you. And you see, he gets down on all fours and starts.
Friend, no snake today, okay, buddy?
Says, nah, man, I'm gonna show you this. Come on.
I swear to God, if you reach for your pants, it'll be the last thing you do.
My pants. I ain't talking about my pants. I'm talking about my snake, man.
Oh, jeez. All right, sorry about that. I thought you were going somewhere else with that.
No, you ain't gonna tell anybody, are you?
I mean, how long are these shifts again? We have to be close to like closing time at this point, right?
We don't have much. Probably don't have much. We gotta herd the slugs first, but don't worry, that we can do that on the way while I'm showing you my snake. And he'll get down on all fours and start crawling down the sewer's side.
And he wants me to do that too.
Of course.
I mean, hard doubt.
He won't say otherwise if you don't, but he does give you some rather sad looks.
All right. You look like a sad puppy dog, like not a coyote. I guess I'll come see what the fuck you're talking about.
He'll start scurrying down and comes to a small T in the section. He says, all right down there to our right. That's where we gotta herd the slugs. But come here, let me show you this. And reach into his pocket and pull out a chunk of meat. You see, it looks like a small steak type thing or a piece of sausage from breakfast. He goes down this side tunnel a little ways, and you come to a grate that's covered up. He says, Quinn, come here, check this out. You pull this little piece of sausage out and to kind of dangle it through the bars and toss it forward. Barely has time to hit the water before you see this huge crocodile maw come up out of the water and snap this piece of sausage out of the air and then smash back down into the water. See that? Do you see that? That's my snake right there. What do you think of that snake, huh? It's a big one.
Yeah, that's a impressive four-legged snake you have there. One of a kind, I'm sure.
Says, what? I've been raising that little snake since it was just a wee little worm. Yeah, give it a little bit of sausage each day. I got an idea, Quinn. You ready for it? Brace yourself, because I got an idea. You see, that coyote brain is starting to work again. So when we get out of here, I'm going to grab that guard, right? I'm going to snap his neck. You kick him in the nuts for good measure, and then we can bring him down here, and we can feed him to old Frank. What do you say?
I like where you're going. This is a good kind of brainstorming process that we find ourselves in here, but I think it needs a little bit more polish, a little more time.
Do you know how to write stuff down? So I gotta dig around his pocket and pull out a piece of chalk. He says, here, I don't know my words very well, but if you want to write the steps down on the wall here, we can get it memorized. We can play it out a little bit.
Yeah, that's great. And
don't you go kicking me in the balls, though.
Sometimes, like, the brainstorming process is just best done in your head, because if you just write down everything you're thinking about, then it's just gonna be too many things. So you just keep on this brainstorming aspect, and maybe in a couple of weeks, months, who knows, even a year sometimes you can brainstorm for. There's never really a bad time to start, as long as you just keep it in your head, Coyote,
Yeah, smart one, Quinn. Oh, man, can you imagine how big Frank's gonna be in a year? Mm-hmm. Especially if we keep feeding him gods.
Right.
Wonder if a god will fit through these bars. We might have to hack them up a little bit to fit them through. Oh, write that down. Hack up guard. Yeah, we have to do that.
You probably shouldn't write that down, but I'm not going to tell you how to live your life.
Yeah, that's good thinking, Quinn. Come on, we got slugs to herd. And he'll turn around and start running down the hall towards the slugs.
I'm gonna make a note of the secret crocodile for sure, but follow along on this wild coyote adventure I found myself on.
He'll take off down this hallway and turn the corner and sort of skid to a stop. And he looks, oh shit, wasn't ready for this today. As you come around the corner, Quinn, you can see this large, massive blob type thing. You're not quite sure what it is. These 3 large tentacles sprout off of it, and this disgusting maw-like mouth is just slurping up sewage and waste across the floor. There's 4 other ones around it, but they're all much smaller, about the size of a small dog, where the other ones are more like your size. 5 in total. And they all seem to be cleaning up the waste. And it says, it ain't the slugs you gotta worry about, Quinn. And you see his eyes as they look up. As your eyes kind of scan up to the top, Quinn, you see this, looks like a large maggot clinging to the wall. These drooping tentacles hanging off of its face and these serrated teeth that seem to be spinning around in its maw. It starts to scurry towards you. And I actually have a picture of the one thing, too, that I will toss over here into the chat as we hop over to Kavil.
Mm-hmm.
Standing in the line with a group of all different people. There's guys, gals, some you're not quite sure of. One in particular next to you as you glance over at this fella. He's quite pretty, you wonder to yourself. Not really sure if that's the word you're looking for or not. It's a guy. I mean, he has a beard, but, well, he's built much more like a woman. And his makeup, well, you've seen makeups that work on the whore streets and the brothels that pretty much match his. And there's a picture of him in shats and this bright red and yellow hair. A gorgeous makeup covering his face. And he sees you staring at him or her, you're not quite sure. She stares back at you. She says, "Hey, darling. How you doing?"
Good. Nice color.
Yes, I've been working on this all week long. You like that, do you? Pretty little hairdo I got, you know.
Well, I wouldn't call it little. It's quite impressive.
That's not the only impressive thing I got.
Huh.
So what brings you to the laundry room, huh? What brings you to the laundry room? You coming to fold the little socks, maybe a few panties with me? Is that what you're doing? Coming here to fold some panties? I see that look in your eyes. I see it. I do.
Well, I wouldn't call it luck.
Pleasure.
But, yeah, you know. Things happen. Sometimes not like they're like I hope them to happen, but yeah.
Don't you worry, it's not a hard time at all. You get to hang out with Sparker, watch that freak crawl around on the walls. We get to fold up some panties. You know, if you want, I like to steal some myself, put them in my pockets, maybe for later. Forgive me. I didn't introduce myself. Who are you, anyway?
I'm Kavil.
Kavil. I'm gonna call you baby. So here we go, baby. This is how it is here in the laundry room. I'm gonna go in there. Oh, I didn't introduce myself. So I'm sorry. The name is Bolin, Queen of the West Block. That is me. Sometimes the dominatrix of the cells. You tell me what you want.
Whip crack, huh?
Among other things, that's the case. I'll tell you, I'm going to take you under my arms. I'm going to show you around here a little bit. You need anything, you let me know. I got my ways with all these folk.
But you know, I'm not like the whip cracking guy. Just saying, just so you know.
I can be soft and gentle too. Don't worry. It's all for the right price. You just tell me what you want, and old Bolin, Queen of the West Block, will have your back.
You know, I'm like the monogamous type of guy. Yeah, have you seen that drow? Huh? Well, not many in here.
Says, yeah, I like the ones that play hard to get.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
She
Come
goes
on,
to bed.
come on, baby. We're gonna go fold up some sentinel
listen,
suits. Gonna make a few towels.
Mhm.
Shh. Place his fingers on your lips. Says, shh. It's okay. Don't you worry. With that, he'll start walking down the hallway, and you can smell this, like starch and washing detergents and stuff. Says, so, baby, what would you like to do today? We can fold up the laundry, or we can run it through the press. Maybe you'd like to hang out in the changing rooms.
Kavil looks impressed. Ooh, we can choose?
Says, stick with me, and you can choose anything you want. I run this joint, you know. And I like newbies like you. Don't get new pleasures to taste that often. It's like sugar on a lollipop.
Yeah, about that drow girl. So, I mean, her hair isn't as amazing and impressive as yours, that's for sure. Maybe I could introduce you to her. That would be, I think.
Maybe a menage a trois. It's been a while. Yeah.
Oh,
Why
no,
don't
no,
we can,
I don't
that'll
think
be excellent. Oh, yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
What
Well, come
about
on.
folding panties?
Yes, let's take a bit of show. That is what you're up for today.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
And I put an arm around them. And like, okay, where do we go?
And the Queen of the Westbach, Bolin, will lead you over to the side. You see this huge rack of suits. It's all basic inmates, pants, breeches, and vests, along with some sentinel uniforms that are sectioned off as well. It's pretty simple, baby. Just gotta fold these up, put them into a pile, and Sparkle will come on over, gather these up, and take them where they need to go.
Who's Sparkle?
Oh, babe. I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Kavil's blinking, a little bit embarrassed for a moment. Do I want to know who Sparkle is, or don't I?
Yeah. Fell right over there, and he points she points across the room there, and you'll see this. You think maybe it's a man? Stands about 7 feet tall, has 6 arms, 2 legs, and it looks like just stitched together pieces. All the arms are different lengths. The legs don't quite match. One looks more feminine, the other one looks more bodybuilder man-like. This big, heavy torso. And I probably would recognize. Looks like a flesh golem or somebody who's been stitched together. And you can see this Sparkle grabs up a pile of clothes in a pair of its hands, and it crawls up the wall, almost like a spider, going up to the distance and disappears through a shaft. A few minutes later, he'll come back, crawling back down along, getting another pile of laundry that's been folded up. And as you watch, there's probably a good 15 or so tunnels all the way wrapped around the ceiling of this place that he takes different things and takes them to the different areas as people fold them up.
So I put an arm again around Bolin. And I turn us both around, looking at Sparkle. And I just say, Sparkle, huh?
You have no idea, baby. You have no idea.
What about those tunnels? Are there more sparkles for us in there?
Says, nah, he's the only one that can pull himself through those things. Look big here on the other side, but, the deeper you go, the tighter they get.
I see. Maybe you can introduce me to Sparkle. I would never, ever try to interfere with you guys, but seems like an interesting personality to know. Yeah.
Certainly. Let's finish off this rack right here, and I will introduce you to Sparkle. But
Awesome.
Man of few words, let me tell you. He doesn't say much, probably because his mouth is stitched shut, but you can
Oh, well,
hear him.
that's sometimes not a bad thing. I say as I
Ooh.
turn around to the...
I see what you're saying
panties.
there. Yeah, I see what you're saying there.
So how many of those... And I lift up like a heap of panties. So how many of those can we take with us?
Since, well, I just feel in my bust, and you can see he grabs a few and busts himself out a little bit more as he shoves them in his bra. Says, I don't dare get too many, though. I get the gods excited, and well, they get a bit grabby. I wouldn't go too far with that.
Oh, you're in an advantage here. And Kavil actually pulls away his pants a little bit and shoves like 3 pennies in there. Well, it's a good start, I'd say.
It's like one big fetish bar in here, isn't it? It's getting steamy.
You have no idea.
And you'll reach over to grab another set of clothes off these hangers. You'll feel the sharp prick, sort of like right in between your thumb and your fingers. And as you pull your hand back, it looks like teeth marks almost. And as you glance at these racks of clothes, 3 of the vests, at least they look like shirt vests or something, begin to move. And as they turn almost on their own, you can see this fanged-like maw in place of where the neckline would be, and these small little hooks on either side of the sleeves. And the whole thing just sort of billows out a little bit as these things come off the rack and fly towards you. And with that, we will begin initiative since... Oh, no.
Thanks.
Actually, Malachi, over where you are, this man begins walking across the room, locking eyes with you, comes up, and he stands... I'm not sure how tall you are, but he stands about 6'6", 6'7".
You're 3 inches, 4 inches taller than me.
And he'll sort of stare down his nose at you. So you must be the newbie. What's your name?
I'll just look at him.
His eyes will shift over to Murray. The old man says, well, his name's Malachi. He says, what can we do for you, Cantos? See this man, his eyes shift back over to you, staring at you. He'll take a few steps back and he pulls out this small bottle in his hand, just an empty glass bottle. Says, we need to get these wagons up and running. Y'all just standing around not doing anything. The pits are almost ready. And he will toss it towards you, Malachi. Give me a dexterity saving throw.
That is a... Bam. 14.
Beautiful. You'll see this bottle come towards you and quickly reach out, sort of cradle it in your hands. And look at this thing, and it seems to vibrate a little bit. And then you see the stopper, this cork stopper that's on it, just blow off, and this blast of wind will just hit you in the chest. You're thrown back a couple of feet, still on your feet, but pushed back. And you look up and you see Cantos just walking away, starting to laugh. Before you, this wind gushes out of this small little bottle. You can feel the wind, your hair whipping about, this clothes whipping around, and this humanoid-like shape of dust and debris and wind starts to form in front of you. Now we will start initiative.
Bring it, sand boy.
All right. Up first is Kavil. You will see 3 of these shirts jump off the rack and fly towards you. Their neckline is that of a fanged maw, almost a bat-like, small little hooks on either sleeve.
Explanation?
Bolin just begins screaming like a bitch.
That's not helpful. And I grab like an armload of panties, like trying to cover my arms with them. And maybe like a cloth armor for my arms. Or like fending off a dog, like where they can bite into the arm and nothing happens. And yeah, Are they like? Are they definitely coming
Yep.
for me, attacking me?
Yes. There's a couple more as you look around that seem to be attacking some of the other people in here, but yeah, there's three right there on you and Bolin.
Okay. What's around me? Is there like I have no idea. Like a broomsticks to stir the laundry pots or something?
Across the way, you're not really at the pot. You're just at the folding tables. There is tables and panties and clothings.
Okay. Is there a table with big clothings?
The sentinel forms and stuff like that. They're like heavier.
Okay, then I'm running over there, grab one, and try to throw it over the first batch of jackets.
All right. I'm going to say dexterity attack.
Okay. That's an 11 plus... What's my dex? 13. Yeah.
13 will hit as this heavy jacket drapes over top of this. It looks like almost a t-shirt type thing that's flying towards you, and it quickly weighs it down to the floor. But you can see it's moving around underneath there and starting to pull itself out. These small little hook-like claws at the end of each sleeve just kind of smack down into the floor, starting to pull itself out from under it. Next up is Bolin, who just falls on the floor and starts screaming, protecting her assets.
Bolin, that's still not helpful.
Malachi, you are up. You can see Murray beside you looks at this thing, and he quickly runs over, looks like he's getting ready to run over to grab something off of a bench, like a tool or something. But it looks sort of humanoid-ish, only maybe about 5 foot tall, but just spinning vortex of wind and dust and debris. Some of the small tools and other things starting to be drawn into it. You're muted.
Malachi will quickly grab for the pry bar of the dead that he has assumed this thing is right now. And he'll just he'll hold it in front of himself in both hands, defending himself, not knowing if this is going to be just attacking or if this is just some form of practical joke.
Hold that in front of you. Do you want to take like the dodge action so you can have a bonus just in case it attacks?
Yeah, that makes it good sound.
All right. The animated cloak things, as they are flying around you, Kavil, one's going to start pulling itself out from underneath this vest that you threw over top of it, getting most of the way out. The other two will rush in, one covering over top of Bolin, who continues to scream and flail on the ground helplessly, and the other one covering up over top of you. It seems like it almost trying to wrap itself around you. Oh, does a 12 hit? Well, if you got your panty armor on, so give yourself a +1 armor bonus for panty armor.
Okay, base AC is 10, right?
10 plus dex mod +1.
Yeah, I picked armor, and I should take that away. 12 you said?
Yep.
12 plus 2, dex is 14, so 15 it is.
Ooh, so it does not hit. And it looks like it's trying to grip its claws into your shoulders, almost like a cloak would clasp on your shoulders. But this one that has Bolin on the ground seems to clasp on top of hers and is biting at her neck at the moment. The kitchen rats with you, Mithra. You'll see a couple of them scurry about, chasing these lunch ladies around the room. 3 of them come towards you and Banwin. He says, like I said, just kick him in the jaws. Just kick him as hard as you can. That's what we usually do. And you'll see he'll charge forward, just swinging his feet like crazy, trying to kick these things. I'm going to put 2 of them on him as they lunge forward, and 1 on you. And I rolled a nat 1, so I know it doesn't hit you. But you'll see this rat come forward, its teeth gnashing at you, sort of trying to bite at your feet as you're flailing about. So none hits them.
Now, we still have those collars on, so magic isn't really a super great option, is it?
Right. Yeah, it would take damage.
Well, then can I just try and aim a really hard kick at it?
You can when it's your turn.
Oh.
Those are just those things running at you, but they did not lay into you yet. Murray is up. He is going to grab this, what looks to be a small almost like a cast iron cup off of the bench behind you, Malachi, and turns and starts running over. He says, "We got to get it in here. We got to get it in here. Just motion it in here." And this thing in front of you starts to spin and swirl. The wind getting heavier and heavier, Malachi. And you'll see a small wrench start sliding across the floor, picked up into the wind of this thing. And then a larger hammer. And then a larger mallet. And you'll see this mallet just come around and swing at you. Your AC, you're going to have a +2 to your AC at the moment, whatever it might be. But I got a 1920.
That's definitely a hit.
5 points of damage as this heavy mallet comes around and just cracks you right in the side of the ribs. You can hear a few snaps. There's more and more of these tools are starting to be pulled into this thing. Off to the side, you see this guy in the distance stops and turns, sort of crosses his arms over his chest as he's watching this. And you look, the sentinels too, they seem to just stopped and started watching, as well as pretty much everybody in this maintenance room, watching with interest of this whole situation. The coyote is up. He says, "Hey, now this is what we got to do. Quinn, listen up. I'm going to have you go forward. You distract this thing, right? I'm going to get over there. I'm going to jump on its back, and I'll snap its neck. When I do that, you kick it in the nads for good measure, okay? Just for good measure." You'll see he drops down on all four and charges at this thing. But it'll be...
I'm right behind you.
And with that, the sewer worm is up. So as you see Coyote getting in close, the thing unleashes itself or lets go of the wall. And it comes down on top of him. You can hear him howling like a coyote in the screeches of this thing. He'll come off the side of it a little bit, his teeth biting into it as he's trying to bite it. Sewer worm. Yeah. You'll see this thing come around, these four tentacles just slam into the side of his body, and his eyes will bulge open, and he'll look over and says, right, now, Quinn, kick it in the... And he just, stops completely paralyzed in place as this worm lets go of him and drops him to the floor, this huge chunk taken out of his shoulder, and its eyes sort of look towards you as it starts to scurry towards you. Banwin is up. He stands next to you, Mithra, and you can see he's just kicking these rats like crazy that are around his feet. And you are up, Mithra.
All right, I'm just gonna aim a kick at as hard as I can.
All right. Yeah, use your strength mouse, like a 1d20 plus your strength attack.
All right. 18.
That is a hit. Go ahead and unarmed damage will be 1d4, or the four-sided die, plus your deck or your strength modifier if you have one for damage.
I do. It says +1 beside my strength. Does that count for damage? Okay. Yep. So I actually only rolled a 1, so that's it too.
Gotcha. You're able to kick one of these things quite hard. It'll skitter off across the floor a few feet before pulling itself back up and once again charging in at you, its teeth gnashing. To the side, you'll see Banwin as he lands a solid blow, just crushing the skull of one end of the floor. Says, "Don't kick him away, just stomp on him. Just stomp on him like this, baby." With that, wait till you try a bit of roasted rat. Yeah. Quinn, you are up. This sewer worm running towards you.
Yeah, this coyote runs in and starts biting onto him. I'm like, yeah, sick him, coyote, get him. Oh, no, God, coyote. And then as the thing starts coming towards me, I'm looking around the room. What do I see? Am I in a sewer again? Or?
Yeah, it is just a sewer. You'll see some waste, human waste, and food bits are crossed on the floor. In front of you they're otiugs, but it's one big one and four little ones. Just cleaning up garbage and stuff. They seem absolutely oblivious to what these things are doing. Or this thing.
Do I see any, you say waste, is there any, utensils or anything laying around, like a rusty fork or something?
There will be if you want to use a point of inspiration.
I don't think I have one because it goes away at the end of every session, right? Or do we get one at the start?
You get one at the start.
Yeah, I'll spend it then. At which point I find a nice rusty fork laying on a big pile of, rotten food, and I will begin to gesture towards it tracing out arcane symbols in the air and cast catapult on this thing. It will need to make a dexterity saving throw.
That is a fail with a 3.
All right, then the fork goes flying into the sky towards it, being catapulted to it for 10 bludgeoning magical damage.
Damn. You see this fork just slubs into the side of it, and it's sort of like moving through pudding. You see the whole thing blubbers a little bit, and the fork exits out the other side of it with a splash of greenish yellow fluids of some sort splattering on the wall. All of the Otyugs will begin pulling themselves across the floor on these long tentacles, quite interested in this new morsel that is splattering everywhere. This thing will let out this screeching sound as it fully comes up towards you. That is the end of...
I'm going to, like, if I can, like, try to kite it around, like, keep as much distance as I can. So I don't know how big the room is, but I'm going to use my max movement to back away from it.
Okay. And with that, Malachi, you are up. This huge air thing in front of you with a hammer just pounding into you. Everybody else just watching with interest.
Taking the initial hammer hit, Malachi will start to circle around the back of what he believes to be an air elemental and try to motion the best he can by raising his hands and holding this bar in between both hands. He will try to guard any escape and motion this piece of wind into the cup that the old man is holding onto.
I'll give you your choice, but a skill challenge roll somehow on to try to get this thing into the cup.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna try to use I'm just gonna try to use my body as a blockade. So I'm thinking maybe a dex check, if that's okay. Acrobatics,
Acrobatics or athletics, either one would work.
Yeah, I'll do an acrobatics.
All right.
Ooh, it's only an 8.
Yeah, kind of motion yourself around in this elemental earth, whatever it is exactly. It seems almost like it's trying to avoid being put back into this cup or this container, and it'll constantly sort of circle around you as well. This mallet in its hands, and it picks up more and more bits of debris, and you'll see it starts pulling across the floor, nails and iron spikes and stuff that start to whirl around inside of it as well.
What's the size of this thing?
It's about 5 feet tall, shaped like a humanoid.
Okay.
Banwin is up. He is going to skull crush another rat as he kicks another one. Banwin's a beast. And Mithra, you are up. You can see across the side of you, Banwin stomps down on the skull of another one that lets out the squeal and starts scurrying about, latching its teeth into his boot. Still one that's trying to get to you, though.
Okay, I'm gonna try again and try and, like, smash it on the skull. Just one and done. Do I roll for strength again?
Yep, strength, or your normal attack roll using strength, yep.
Oh, 18 again. That's weird.
Beautiful. That's a hit. Damage?
4.
Ooh. And you will take this out. Go ahead and describe what you do to this rat to kill it.
Alright, so I kind of got some boots on, so I'm just going to, like, literally smash this thing with the heel of my boot, and then I'm going to kick it off my boot because I'm grossed out by it, and kick it over into the pile with all the other garbage.
As you fling it to the side, you'll notice this rat has 5 legs. Kavil, you are up.
Can I ask him real quick? What's my new friend's name? I really like him.
Banwin.
Banwin. Is this like a normal thing that you see every day? These mutated rats, or what?
No. Every now and then they show up and cause a bit of a ruckus. You know what we need. Yeah, we need Dad to be here. Dad was a hell of a man. You could take care of these things anytime, but, well, he's been gone missing a few days, and looks like we got to deal with him now. Just keep kicking him. Just keep kicking him.
All right.
Maybe if we're lucky, Dad will come help us.
Who's Dad? And how do you go missing from prison?
So ain't got time to talk now, darling. Just keep kicking these rats.
Okay, well, we're going to circle back to that later.
Kavil, you are up.
I
One
started.
is... Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
No. First, tell me what's going on.
There's one still crawling out underneath the vest. It would be free once their turn pops up. One is on Bolin, biting into his neck. And this one's trying to grapple a hold of you to bite you.
So I would jump on the one which is now on the ground, and at the same time, I don't know if I can do that, but I would at least try to grab the next closest one and try to swing it like a weapon or like a jacket to hit the one who's coming for Bolin.
So you're gonna hit one animated cloak with another animated cloak?
Exactly, while stomping on a third one.
I'm gonna ask for athletics roll.
Okay. +5. Okay. It's an 8. No, it's an 8, yeah. 13.
Yeah, this one coming towards you, able to sort of grab, and as you cross towards, you step on the little claw of this one on the ground, crawling itself out, and smack a bitch with the other bitch as you swing these two together, smacking the one off of Bolin. It's almost like just wet shirts smacking against each other.
Yeah.
You can see they look a little dazed, but go ahead and give me 1d4 roll.
Is that your understanding of a great menage a trois, or even more? That's 3.
Nice. I'm going to split it up between the two, so let's do 2 and 1. With that, Bolin is up as you whap this thing off of it. He quickly gets up and just runs towards you and starts hugging you and screaming like crazy.
No, that's the wrong
hangs on to you just absolutely in a fit of panic. Give me
both are.
Give me a, I'm going to say a strength challenge roll, Kavil, against his, which is going to be a 19.
What? Okay. 10.
Yes, he just wraps his arms as he's like absolutely in a fit of panic, trying to get away from this thing, and just comes to you for help. But, in turn, shoves your head into his panty bust and wraps his arms around you, screaming at the top of his lungs.
Yeah, I'm screaming too.
With that, Coyote is up. He lays on the ground, all 4, hands and feet in the air, absolutely paralyzed at the moment. The sewer worm is up. It is going to rush towards you. You have a 30-foot. This thing would be able to reach you because it has a 40-foot movement. You only have 30, I'm assuming, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so this thing is going to rush forward. You see these little black tentacles from its face just spit out towards you. 12, 13, 14 hit.
14 would hit, but I will reactionary chant out some words and cast shield to create an arcane barrier of magical force that blocks its attack.
Good choice. And you'll see they all sort of smack up against this invisible glass-like shield. Lets out a screech as it continues coming, just rushing right at you. Behind it, these sewer slugs, as they are called, begin to just mosey their way towards you as well, slurping up the slime and the pus and the whatever else is in their way, leaving a trail of cleanliness slime behind them. And the kitchen rats are up. There's 2 left, one on you, Mithra. 9, 14 hit you, Mithra.
Checking, but yeah, I feel like that. Oh yeah, that definitely hits.
All right, 4. 2 points of damage as this one scurries up your leg, starts to push itself in between your pant leg and your, the skin of your thigh. You can feel it just tearing in. It's basically in your pant leg, biting at you. 2 points of damage.
2 points. Sorry.
Yep. The other one will scurry on top of Banwin and start tearing at his face, his cheek, trying to bite at his eyes. Murray is up and he'll run over beside you, Malachi. So he's just testing you because you're a newbie. Just hurry up, we can get this thing in here before it gathers all these spikes. Otherwise, we're going to be impaled on that wall. Just get him in here, son. Just get him in here. He's going to hold out this bucket in front of him, getting it all ready for you to somehow usher this thing into it. And the cloaks are up. I'm going to give them advantage since you are currently grappled, Kavil. Let's see. That one is going to be a 10, which I'm assuming misses.
Nope.
That one is going to be a 12, which I'm assuming misses.
Mm-hmm.
And that one is a 19.
That hits.
For 2 points of damage. But actually, you are grappled. So this thing is going to swing around. The claws you can feel sink into one of your collarbones. This other side on the other collarbone as it starts to wrap itself around you. These teeth just biting hit your neck. The other two are just kind of going to be smothered in between the panty breasts of this lady and this guy and you, and biting and flapping about. The elemental is up as this thing is right in front of you, Malachi. You can see it swirls around, and you just see this unleashing of small iron spikes, wooden pegs, nails come flying in your direction. That was a nat 20. For only 5 points of damage, though, is all these nails start just tearing at your flesh. A spike digs through your shin.
Malachi goes down.
Oh, no.
Ooh.
And that's the end of the round.
There's 2 hits, 10 points. It was pretty strong little.
Unfortunately, the air elemental is up again as it unleashes another blast. Just give yourself a fail check.
Okay.
And maybe this little bit of consciousness that you have, Malachi, you can just see old man Murray get impaled, nail after nail, tearing into him. As he lets out a scream, he starts stumbling forward, sort of steps over your body, and you can see he's holding this cup out in front of him. Kavil, you are up, grappled by Bolin, bitten by a cloak.
Bolton, we have time for this later. Let me go.
You can give me an athletics or a acrobatics to break free.
Athletics.
Right.
10, 15.
Yeah, that'll do it. Still have an action if you'd like to take one. There's one currently biting your neck and hooking its claws into your shoulder blades.
Okay, so I would try to grab that one. Would that be my action?
What do you want to do with it?
Well, bitch slap the next one with it again. That worked
right.
well.
Make just a regular normal attack using strength.
That's 19 on the die.
To hit, do 1d4 damage. Now split it evenly among the two.
2. This is not normal! While I'm smacking the jacket around.
And with that, Banwin is up. And he will, damn, he's rolling good. He will skull crush the rat that is on him, grabbing it off of his face, and he just brings it up and slams it, spiking it into the floor. And he'll begin cheering, holding his hands up. See that? That's what you gotta do. Mithra, that's what you gotta do. Just spike these little bastards right into the ground.
That was impressive. I'm impressed.
I'm very impressive. Quinn, you are up. This sewer worm rushing towards you. Its slugs behind it, cleaning up its gore trail.
I'm gonna call out to Coyote. Coyote, you're gonna need to get up and get over here. I need some help. Trying to dodge the tentacles as they whip. I think I am going to cast Sword Burst, chanting some words at it. Spectral blades begin to sweep around me, and I need a dex save.
Oh, that's a 16.
16, I believe, is a pass. Let me just double check. Intelligence is 4 plus 2, 6, 14. Yeah, it's a save.
Does half damage or anything?
Nope.
Nothing. It kind of rolls around, it just flails back and forth, trying to get out of the way of these stinging blades, but nothing major. A few scrapes on it, but Bolin is up, screaming again like crazy. Kavil, you can see he's kind of down on the ground, wiggling around, clawing at your pants, trying to pull you forward. Give me a, I'm going to say a dex save, Kavil.
Roll over it! Roll over it! Oh. A 1. Take your point.
Ooh. With that, you can see Bolin reaches up, grabs a hold, sort of the back pocket of your pants as he's screaming on the ground. Looks like he's trying to pull you towards him. All he does is give that bit of a yank, and you can feel your pants drop to your ankles as you stumble forward, tripping, hitting the ground hard. Coyote is up. Let's see if he can get unparalyzed. He just continues to stare at the ceiling, paws in the air, laying on his back like he was waiting for a belly rub. And the sewer worm is up. 9, 13.
Hits.
What point of damage? But I need a save. What is it? Constitution save.
Oh, well, let me give that to you for a whopping 13.
That will be a pass. You can feel the tentacles sink in and your body stiffens up a bit. This rigidity as this poison starts to seep through. Get the sense you might be paralyzed if this thing got a good hit, much like your newfound friend over there. The kitchen rats are up. There is one still left, sort of biting at the inside of your thigh, Mithra. Ooh, it's a 16.
Oh, that's a hit for sure.
Just 1 point of damage, though.
All right.
Murray is up. Let's see if he can try to get this thing. He'll push you, sort of blocking your body a little bit. Malachi pushing this thing back as he's holding this bucket in front of him. Yeah, he'll rush forward, and you can see he sort of scoops, almost like he's trying to scoop water out of a well or something, holding on the handle of this bucket, and sort of swings it across. This strange howling, almost like it's screaming, echoes through as he's trying to get this thing into the bucket. Looks like he got a hit on it, but it's not really going in the bucket like you would hope. And the animated cloaks are up. There's still 3 of them. And unfortunately, you are on the ground prone. Kavio, pants around your ankle. So first one is a 12. The one is an 8. Damn. And a 5. Jesus. 12 is the highest I got.
Nope.
All 3 miss as they swarm around you. You can see that they're clawing, trying to bite at Bolin as well. None of them really getting anywhere. Malachi, you are up. I need a death save, please.
I can do that.
Don't forget you still have an inspiration, too.
Yeah, it's a 13 because I don't think there's any modifications on death rolls either.
Nope. So mark that save box. And Mithra, you are up. One rat on the inside of your pant leg tearing at your leg. You're muted.
It's gonna get a boot crash. Oh. Maybe not. 10.
Nope, not quite. You can shake your leg like crazy trying to knock this thing out of your pant leg. It'll hit the ground out of there, but again, it comes right back towards you as you swiftly try to kick it. It dodges and leaps once again onto your leg.
I hate this kitchen.
You just gotta kick it right in the jaws. Just give it a good swift kick. Bolin.
Help over here.
Bolin screams on the floor, trying to crawl up your body, Cavill, pulling at your pant legs as he's pulling himself forward, just holding on to you for dear life as these animated cloaks swirl around. Coyote, let's see. He lays on his back, his paws in the air still, because he is rolling really wonderful. The sewer worm is up. Oh, that's an 18.
Yeah, let's go and get the job done.
Only 2 points of damage, but I need that save.
Ooh, don't say only 2 points of damage like I'm not a level 1 wizard. I saved 16.
All right. Kitchen rats. Oh, a 13 hit you, Mithra?
Oh, yeah. Oh, never mind. Yeah, that definitely hits.
2 points of damage this time as his teeth gnash into your leg once more.
I'm gonna get killed by a kitchen rat.
Starts crawling up your leg.
All right.
Kavil, you are up.
No, I'm down.
That's true.
Yeah, well, I tried to break free from Bolin. I mean, yeah.
Give me a strength,
Yeah,
Athletics or acrobatics?
On the die. Oh my god.
You're able to roll over. You're able to roll over enough, but he just continues to pull himself up, just straddling you and screaming at the top of his lungs. Mithra, you have a rat on your leg, but you are up. You can see Banwin's running over, but he's not there yet.
Okay, sorry. So my options are deal with this rat or
Wait for him.
monster. All right. Oh no, it's just me and the rat still.
Yep.
Okay. Well, this is getting boring, but I just wanna I'm done with this. So I just wanna kick it in the head, as far as I can, get it away from me. And that's a 14.
That is a hit. 1d4 damage.
4.
Ooh, you obliterate this rat. It only had 1 hit point. Go ahead and describe what you do to it.
I am kicking it as far as possible across the room, and its head is gonna smash against the wall, and it's done.
Just imagine you pulling this thing off and drop kicking it in front of you, punting it across the room. Banwin will run up and he's like, "Damn, girl, you really know how to stomp them rats. You might as well get used to this. Sometimes we make it a little bit of a game because, they show up, and when Dad's not here, it gets a little feisty around here. But don't you worry, you got it under control."
I'm annoyed at this point. This is the worst game I've ever played.
Quinn, you are up.
All right, trying to bat away this striking sewer worm, not having very much luck with the sword burst. I will, again, chant some words and try to cast Frostbite as frost begins to gather around. I need a Constitution saving throw, DC 14.
Ooh, that is only a 12, but I have an inspiration point I need to use up, so I'm going to re-roll that.
You rat bastard.
And that is a 19.
All right. Are we in the same area that we started this in?
Roughly, yeah.
The secret passageway to Frank.
That's probably a good 30 yards behind you around the corner.
Okay, got you.
Does it do half damage or anything from a...
Nope. It's just a cantrip. So they're pretty shitty if I miss.
Excellent. Animated cloaks are up. You are still prone, Kavil, so they're gonna... Ooh, that's a nat 20, though.
Come on.
And that's a 17.
Oh, boy.
And that's an 18. Oh, man, that's horrible.
Shit. Mm-hmm.
It's a 1, a 2, and a 4, so 6.
Dang it. Okay.
Malachi, you are up. Give me that death save.
Oh, that's an 8.
Ooh, mark a box.
That's 2 fails.
Murray is up, and he is going to try once more. And he'll swoop forward again as you sort of roll a little bit, Malachi, trying to get this. You're unable to really move. You can feel your life quickly slipping away, just this blur in your eyes. And as you turn your head, you can feel you accidentally catch his foot, and he's going to hit the ground hard. This bucket's rolling away from him. So I rolled a 1 for him. And the air elemental is up, and you will see it starts to rush forward. And you see movements around. You can't make out what exactly is happening, Malachi, but you hear the scrape of this bucket being picked up off the floor. Everything starts to fade out. And with that, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Banwin doesn't matter. Quinn, you are up.
God damn it, you sewer worm. Get the fuck out of here. And I will, I guess, I don't even know. I'm trying to think. Things like a big, slug worm, eh?
Yep.
I guess dexterity. It can't be that dexterity. So sword burst again.
All right. That is a 3.
Yeah, eat this, you son of a bitch. 3 damage.
It still has 1 hit point left.
Oh, fuck.
Animated cloaks are going to swoop in. A miss. That's a 14 and a 7 and a 6.
No. No.
Right. Bolin just screams, continually flapping. You can see she starts flailing his arms around everywhere around him, screaming, still trying to swat at these things as they fly about. Ooh, Coyote made his save. You can see he twitches a little bit up ahead of you and starts to roll over.
Here, boy, stick him.
See, he pulls himself up and starts running on all fours across this thing and jumping through the air as he lands on the back, and ooh, he will hit. Well, it only has one hit point, so he's going to jump on. He see his arms wrap around the body, neck, whatever this thing is. He starts biting at it once again, grabs one of these tentacles in his teeth and just pulls it away. You can see this splash of blood going across as he just strangles the life out of this thing, biting and gnashing at it. As the sewer worm goes down, Kavil, you are up.
Well, still trying to get. Although he's flailing around now, Bolin, right? So.
Oh yeah, he's swatting at him like he would a mosquito.
Okay, so in that case, I try to jump up, and again grab one of the jackets and smash the second jacket with it.
All right.
I shit you not. Another one. Oh, man.
I'll take that point, thank you.
Sorry, guys.
As we focus on you for the moment, as everybody else has at least killed their monsters and is working things well,
Listen,
you continue to flail on the floor, this large man screaming, dressed in your panty armor. I don't know, Kavil, this is... All right, so... Let's see, Kavil and you. All right. Bolin is up. I will give him an attack as he's swatting through the air. Oh, yeah. See, flames about this huge meaty hand coming across, just bitch slapping one of these things, and it'll slap into the side of the wall and slide down as he takes out one of them. You still have two on you. And they are up. One on Bolin, and that's a 2, so no. You are up, Kavil.
Again, I'm stumbling around in my pants still at my ankles. That's why I probably roll a 1 all the time. Yeah, I'm basically flailing my jacket around to hit the other jacket.
Just picture it looks like a stripper thing as you're swinging.
Yeah, exactly. And this, what's that? 6 plus, yeah, an 8.
Not quite. And you are up again.
Oh, good. Okay, again. That's a 15 on the die.
That will hit.
Oh, thank goodness. D4?
Yep. Plus your strength.
Oh, I forgot that last time, actually. 2 plus 4, then.
That will split evenly amongst them as you slap one cloaker with another cloaker and send them spattering into the back wall. All around you can see people seem to have most of this under control. And there's this loud grinding sound like a gears grinding. And you will hear a scream off to the side. Kavil. But before that, we will swing back over as the camera pans back onto Malachi. You'll see this man who had come in a little while ago, Kantos, he was called. As he stands over top of your body, reaches down and gives you a couple hard smacks on the face, Malachi. You could feel it, but you quickly feel this, almost like the light's fading. You can see that light in the distance of this tunnel. And then the sharp, pungent smell suddenly snaps your eyes open. Your nose burns like crazy. Give yourself 1 hit point. And you'll see this man as he has almost like smelling salts or something that he's dropping in front of your nose, trying to get you to wake up. This arrogant smile on his face. Says, well, you ain't worth for shit, are you? He grabs you sort of by the front of your shirt, lifts you back up, and puts you on your feet, shaking you a little bit. Come on, snap out of it. I don't have all day here.
Oh, shoot. Fuck.
Simple little hazing gone wrong, it seems.
Yeah, no, that was a good one. That was funny. It's good times. I wouldn't mind that little jar of yours, to be honest.
Yeah. Slaps you on the back hard. You're going to have to do better than that, Pansy. He turns and starts walking away. You can see he's carrying the bucket with him that's kind of swirling about inside. Says, hurry up and finish the wagon. It needs to be into the pits tonight. Murray will pick himself up and make his way over. He says, don't take it personal, kid. He's always an asshole. But when you're in the back pocket of the warden, you get to do those type of things.
Oh, lucky son of a bitch.
Says, come on, let's get this last tire on. It's almost lunchtime. And he'll pick up this bar off the floor, snapping off this tire as he has you bring it over, putting it back on. A few minutes will pass as you set this up, and he'll start leading you back towards the leisure basin for lunch. He says, well, got a bit of an afternoon to finish off here, but if you want to sit with my table, you're more than welcome to. Or maybe you can visit with your friends, catch up a little, but I'll see you in a couple hours.
Yeah, sounds good. I'll kind of like tail between the legs, walk away.
Mithra back in the kitchen. Banwin will look around and be like, damn. What we like to do around here when we get some of these rats. You ever had rat on a stick, Mithra?
I've had a lot of weird things, but I've never had rat.
Oh, man. Tastes just like chicken, At least what I remember chicken tasting like. About the best thing we get around here. You'll hear the doors of the kitchen slam open. It sounds like screeching sounds. You look over. You can actually see two of these sentinels pulling, it looks like a table with wheels on it, and it's covered up with a sheet. It looks like there's a body underneath it. And they'll pull it over by you. And this sentinel looks over and says, the two of you. Why don't you dice up this body? We need a bit more for the festival this afternoon. It's going to be a feast. And he pushes this cart over and grabs a hold of the sheet and pulls it off as he walks away. There's going to be a dead body on this counter, or this table. You can see
I'm a vegetarian. Do I have to do this?
There's an array of utensils slattered across there. And Banwin looks at that. The body glows with like a soft greenish sort of light. Banwin says, this is going to be a good one tonight, Mithra. He says, looks like it's got done with a bit of afterglow. That always makes it taste a bit better. You can't think about what you're doing, though. Just got to do it.
Can I figure out why this body is glowing? Do I know that? Is it like for a magical reason?
You can give me an medicine check or an arcana check.
I'm going to go with Arcana, and that's going to be 19.
As you look at this thing, it's a middle-aged man. He's been basically just stripped down to his breeches. You can see these huge bruises all over his body. His face looks like it's been pummeled. You can see scorch marks as well. Not quite sure what all of that has to do, but the glow. Something that seems like some sort of magic spell or magical effect has been cast on this. Banwin will look at you as you look. This is, it's called afterglow. Folks like this, sometimes they're thrown into the shock box and ring. Corridal has his way, pummels them to death. Ask me, they cheat a bit, often drugging up these folks so they're a bit more exhausted than they need to be, so they can't put up a good fight. This is just the leftover effects. Makes the meat taste good, though. Come on, let's get to work.
Oh, that's horrible.
And he'll shove the body over onto the counter and get to work carving up this body and portioning out the meats. Do you help? He says, just clench your teeth and do it, darling. He says, otherwise you're going to be getting the shit beat out of you later for not listening.
Yeah, I'm going to help. But secretly in my head, I'm super feeling bad for this guy.
Give me a purity save, please.
Okay, I rolled a 16. Do I add anything to that?
Yep, whatever your bonus on purity stat is, PUR. Under the save column. So yeah, you feel bad. You don't really want to do this, but you feel like you're stuck, between a rock and a hard place. Either cut this up and send it to the kitchen for a bit of cooking. But at the same time, you make a mental note that you might not want your friends or anybody else to eat the meat later for lunch.
Yeah, I'm a vegetarian from now on. All right.
But yeah, you feel a bit bad, but you hold your purity in check for the moment. And he'll help you carve this up, showing you how to take care of it as you kind of pile all the meat into the buckets and take them back to the kitchen. And he'll lead you out to the main leisure basin where you can see Malachi coming through the doors, Murray behind him. Down in the sewer, Quinn, Coyote just looks like a ravaged dog as he's just howling, snorting, barking, chewing, tearing at this thing. Even though it's dead now, he holds it in a stranglehold, biting at it.
Can there be this like awkward moment as he's like sitting there chewing into it? After he finishes it, he comes up to me on all fours, and I'm just looking at him, and we're both making eye contact for a couple moments and like awkward silence. And then I just like gingerly reach out and pat him on the top of the head. Good boy.
Sometimes it just gets a hold of me like that, Quinn. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you about that. We really need to hurry up here. Come on. And he'll turn around and sort of like a dog would herd cattle or sheep, he starts herding these sewer slugs off to a side chamber before slamming the gate shut and turning and says, "Oh, we need to hurry back and get back there to the... Oh, I got an idea, Quinn. Says when we get back there to this...
Dog form.
Get back there to this gate, and that sentinel, he opens that gate, you know what we're going to do, right? Says, we're going to wait till later. We don't have time to snap his neck. I'm getting really mighty hungry. But if you want to kick him in the nads, you can. But I suggest we just get up there and get some lunch. I heard there's going to be a meat special today."
Yeah, that's good.
Maybe we can bring back a snack for the snake, huh?
Yeah, Frank, for sure.
And he'll drop on all fours and start running back to where you came from.
All covered in like warm goop and refuge and dirt, I will kind of just follow him in gliss, I guess. I don't know.
Gets to this gate and the sentinel will open it up. Looking at the two of you, you can see Coyote as he sort of eye glances at this guard, and he'll stop and he looks at you, just sort of almost like he's waiting to see if you're gonna give him the motion to snap his neck.
Just gonna give him like a...
Good to see you again, Jim. Turns around and starts walking up the steps. And he will head back to the basin as well. And back in the laundry room, as you look around, Kavil, there's this grinding gears like sound, and you hear a scream, and you look over, and you can see one of the laundry staff. This woman, you've seen her a couple of times. She's an elven woman, covered in scars and a bit rough looking. But you see she lets out a scream as her hand is caught in the pressing machine. She starts to get pulled forward. Everybody else starts screaming, kind of grabbing a hold of her and trying to tug her back. But with each second that passes, she's getting pulled deeper and deeper into this ironing, flattening, pressing machine. You hear that sickening crunch as the scream goes dead as she's pulled into this thing. And Bolin will look over and, damn, that was the third one this week. Says, that was a good one too. She was hot. Says, well, you don't have to worry about her, honey. No. She'll probably make a bit of stew tonight with her, though. Come on, time for lunch. Let's get out of here. And she'll turn and just start walking out of the laundry room.
I pull my pants up and hobble after her. Listen, wait, what is that normal?
I tell you something about this machine. Since that goddamn thing is possessed. I know what I heard. I don't know if it's true or not, but it seems to eat people on a regular basis. I don't know if it's just a slip of the wrist and these people want to, end their lives and get out of this place. But either way, Yeah, usually a couple a week. But you know what I heard?
I'm not talking about the machine. I'm talking about the cloaks.
Oh, no. That was weird, wasn't it? I'm gonna have to let the Sentinels know about that. But yeah, don't worry about it. Let's go get lunch.
Kavil, closes his pants while he's still walking, shaking his head. This will be interesting in multiple ways.
Yeah, have a bit of eat. Baby, and when we get back here, we're going to be working the machine. Just don't get your hand caught in it. You don't want to end up like that.
How can we avoid working the machine?
Well, you take shifts. We're on machine duty today. Like I said, just don't get your hand in there.
Didn't you say you could, I mean, if I know you, that we could choose? No?
It ain't time for speaking. You realize the meat specials they're having on dinner tonight? I've been hungry for this all day. Come on. Don't worry about that. When time comes, I'll make sure we're not working on the machine if we don't need to. It's not that bad.
Mm-hmm.
She'll be walking down the hall. You can see she starts chatting with some of the others, and a little gaggle of other people start surrounding her. She has quite a posse that follows. Back into this leisure hall, you will all sort of enter at the same time. You see Mithra coming out of the kitchen, this blood-stained apron around her waist. You see Malachi coming through the doors. Huge scars. Looks like he's been beat to hell. A bruise on the side of his body. Quinn comes through, reeking of shit, covered in gore. A man on all fours trotting alongside of him, or her. And Kavil still buckling his pants and pulling up around his waist, his new friend laughing in front of him. What do you guys do?
Are we at the lunch? Sorry?
Yeah.
Can we just have a moment where we all come in and sit down at the lunch table and just look at each other and
I'm just staring.
I'm not saying a damn word. I'm just looking at all you.
If you don't ask any questions, neither will I. And we just eat in silence for a solid hour.
Well, hopefully we're not eating the meat. But
yeah. Hopefully we won't.
Yeah, I guess someone would probably say that. And
I hope someone says that. Nobody said it yet, so I can get my plate.
Because if we find out later, someone will suffer.
I get my plate, start walking back to the table.
Yeah, same.
Mithra, you see us all about to eat the food today. Do you say anything to us?
Yeah, I'm gonna quietly try and convey to everyone, if I can, that they shouldn't be eating this.
Why not?
Not even though it's second guessing. She's working in the kitchen. I'm not eating it if she says don't eat it.
After my day of shoveling out shit and stuff, I'm not too hungry either, so I'll just eagerly push it aside.
Trust me, you don't want anything that isn't vegetarian here.
I'll look around for Bolin.
Yeah, he can see him across the way. A group of other folks like himself all gathered around a table eating quite heartily.
And I do a thumbs up when he's looking.
He'll blow you a kiss.
I look at the others. What's the problem? It looks like chicken.
It's seasoned very well.
I saw it earlier. It's definitely not chicken. It's a lot closer to you and me than chicken.
And what's my end? Oh, it's 9.
Malachi will actually, at that, kind of look at his plate and a weird smile creep across his face, and he'll try the meat.
Okay.
Tastes quite good. Does anybody else eat?
I'm eating.
Hell no.
How is it?
Yeah. It's food.
It's prison food.
Not great.
Kavil shrugs and bites into his chicken.
Excellent. I need a purity save come for Kavil and Malachi.
Listen, we don't know the shit.
You were warned.
I'm going to go to the cafeteria lady and ask for the vegetarian option that Mithra told me about.
That's a 12 on my end.
I fail it.
Vegetarian option's a piece of bread.
What'd you get, Kavil?
17.
Oh, that's a pass.
Oh, it is?
Yep.
Oh,
It's 1d20
I thought I
plus
rolled
your...
under. Okay, good.
Nope.
Oh, cool.
You roll over. Roll over. So actually, you both will pass.
Perfect.
Not bad. But Quinn and Mithra, you guys don't eat it.
No.
Take 1 point of exhaustion because you're starting to get awfully hungry after this long day's work.
Oh.
And we will take a quick break because I got to use the bathroom, and then we'll finish up this last bit.
Cool.
You will finish us up. Oh, boy.
Went down at work. Like, what the fuck?
Over in the chat, Dan, I'll give you a picture of Cantos, too. I forgot I had that. Awesome. Everybody back? I think so. Micah? I'll give her just a minute then.
Chris, how'd you build that over there?
I gotta use OBS. It's like a third-party program. Same thing you would use for streaming. And then I believe for Zoom, I don't know if it picks it up natively or not, but you also might need to download Virtual Cam.
Holy crap.
It's honestly not that hard. Like if I can do it, it's really easy.
You're using 3 programs for it.
I don't even know if I am. Zoom just picked up
Back.
my OBS. So maybe you don't need Virtual Cam. I guess Micah would probably know. Micah, did you download Virtual Cam to get OBS working on Zoom, or did it just pick it up?
I'm using XSplit. I don't use OBS.
Okay.
All right. As all of you were kicked back, Malachi and Kavil, you guys clean up your plates. You feel full. Tastes pretty decent as far as you're concerned. It's a little gamey, a little stringy, but it's prison food. Smith or Quinn, you guys are quite hungry, but not having the stomach to really eat this or not. You Tired, but he'll be fine, you think. And you can see sentinels around the room, stopping at a few tables, talking to people and stuff. They'll stop one of them. You'll watch Malachi. One of them stops at this table where they speak to Cantos, this man who had unleashed this elemental in your workplace, and he'll start talking to him. You see him smile, and he looks over at your table, and he sort of points at it with his head, gives it a bit of a nod. The sentinel nod, looks across at the table, and then picks up a piece of paper and starts walking towards yours.
Just look at everybody and no one say anything.
He'll come over and places this piece of paper in front of you, Malachi. Same look, says, looks like your friend across the way had a bit of interest in you. He says you'd be a good one for the pits. He didn't put up much of a fight down there, but must be he sees something in you. He says, I need you to sign the bottom right here. You'll slide this piece of paper over. All it says at the top are the speed pits.
What are the pits?
It says, questions ain't given around here. It says, you'll find out soon enough something the warden had put in. It's going to be an exciting time. Got to pick one of your friends, though, to go with you.
Not really sure I'm up for the pits. Sorry.
Don't have a choice.
Do I hear that?
You do.
I get up and I start strolling over to Bolin. Really quickly.
You'll watch Kavila as he gets up and walks away and says, apparently he don't have the balls to race with you. What about one of these two?
I'll look to Quinn questioningly.
I think he would probably need a little time to think about his partner. Surely you can understand that he wants to give the best performance for the warden and all. Can you give us maybe a little bit to think about it?
Give me a persuasion check.
Yeah. Just a natural 15, no modifier.
The girl makes a good point. Yeah. Why don't you hurry up and make your choice? I need something by the end of the mess meeting. It looks
Can I pick anybody in this room?
Says, no, has to be at the table. Cantos's orders. And I guess if you wanted to pick that asshole walking away, you could. But looks like a bitch to me. Says, I'll be back over in a few minutes. And he'll turn and start walking away, chatting to some of the other inmates as he makes his way through the mess hall.
Well,
if you look across the way, Cantos will give you a thumbs up.
What the hell did you get yourself into?
I don't know. Fucking guy. I don't even know what these pits are. One of you has to come. Who's he going to be?
Can we do a history check on the pits?
Yeah. See if you've heard anything. Actually, give me more investigation. See if you've heard anything mentioned.
No. Nope.
It's not something...
Apparently dumb.
Yeah, you haven't heard. As far as you've heard, it's something new that hasn't even been really opened up or talked about yet. Something new and exciting the warden has planned.
Where the hell did Kavil go? He's the biggest, buffest.
I'm probably merging with the crowd.
Are you making your way over to Bolin?
Well, I was, and then I'm if I see a gathering of people, I will hide behind.
Maybe it would be a good idea to take Kavil with me. He is
I think he's
pretty strong.
Sure.
Well, he's probably just going to get another second plate of food. When he gets back, I'll ask him.
Maybe just put him down. I'm pretty confident he'd say yeah.
What the hell?
I mean, I can go in with you, brother, but I think between the two of us, we don't necessarily make the buffest.
I'll ask you one thing, though. If I don't come out, take care of that fucking Canton for me.
I mean, you're going to come out. Come on. Don't talk like that.
If I do, of myself.
Inkville is in the meantime making a big U-turn, like giving them a lot of time to discuss this and make their decision and tell the guy. And then I'm looking out for the guy who was proposing, or not proposing, giving the order. And I would probably see him walking away. And I'm like, okay, perfect. And I make my way back.
As soon as Kavil sits down, so Kavil, I figured you'd be the best choice.
What?
Yeah, I'm going to need a little bit of strength in there, so I'm going to bring you if that's cool.
Listen, my pants were just pulled down.
Sounds like you're ready to go then. Hey.
I thought we agreed that we wouldn't talk about our days today.
Great. This will be great.
All right, great, thanks.
Sentinel come back over a little bit later, giving you a bit of time. Says, well, we got this figured out or what?
Yeah, we're going to go.
Excellent. And he looks at you, Malachi, glances at Mithra, Quinn. Says, well, it's your lucky day. Which one of you is Quinn?
Me.
Says, excellent. Cantos asked for your services. You'll be going with him this afternoon.
And I spit out my water.
And he'll come around behind you and just point across the mess hall at this man in the distance who's still giving Malachi a thumbs up, a big smile on his scarred face.
And what does he want?
He says, you're going to be with him in the pits. Looks like it's going to be Malachi and Gavil, you and him. Whoever else we might get in to Ather on. It'll be a good one. It's going to be a good one. He chuckles as he walks away, paper in hand. You can see he disappears through the kitchen back towards where like the offices or whatever are.
I rub my chin. This is not going well. What do you think? I'll look at Malachi.
Yeah, I'm really not sure how this is going at all, but well doesn't seem like the proper word.
No, you know what? I think we can work with this. I think
If we it seems if we have a chance to create an accident for Cantos, then that would make me pretty happy.
I think we'll give the warden one hell of a show. I'll give a coy little smile.
I'll lift an eyebrow. What are you going to do? Make a knot into a snake?
I like cough and sorry. What did you say about snakes? I've had a really strange day today.
We were not supposed to talk about our days. You just said. I don't want to know. Thanks.
Right, you're bringing up sensitive things here for me. We'll discuss it back at the cells where there's less ears. I'm gonna go talk to. Kantos wants to talk to me right now, or I'm just like signed up.
Nope, he just signed up, but he'll just smile and wave and give you guys the thumbs up.
Yeah,
when is this pit thing? Okay.
Sentinel would have told you it's tomorrow morning.
Oh, good. At least I'll be able to rest, hopefully.
Well, I think the one thing we can rule out is that it's not going to be a friendship pit, but I think in the cells we can talk about this and come up with a decent idea.
Well, remember we have our neighbor, the big one.
Yeah, whatever. I don't think he's going to pay much attention to this.
Looks like you didn't mind paying attention to you, sis.
Are you jealous, bro?
Don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, by the way, just in case we need a rope one day, and I pull out one. Oh, actually, did I lose my panties?
No, your pants did fall down. I'll say your panty stash is still in your pants, though.
Okay, so I pull out one of the panties from my pants.
I'm gonna give him like a cocked eye and say, "We have a rule here. You put those back in your pants."
No, listen. If I do this, Like 20 more days, we will have a rope.
I can't stay here killing rats for 20 more days. No, I can't. No, we need to get out of here a lot faster than that. I can't wait for your panty rope.
I'll kind of say, killing rats is your issue. I'll trade you jobs.
Yeah, you'll have no idea what happened to the laundry. Honestly.
I wish I could say that the rats were the meat that went into the food, but unfortunately, even that's not true.
I'll lift a finger, like, not touching her lips, but close. Oh, no.
Yeah, but I don't think I want to discuss my idea here. But in a bit of privacy, probably when we get back, put back to the cells, I'll hash out my master plan.
And when we're leaving, I make sure that Bolin sees us leaving, and I put an arm around Mithra, and I like point at her head and make a thumbs up. Just
Jeez.
don't ask. I whisper.
All right, I'll go with this.
As you guys finish up lunch and head back to your duties, it's a little strange again as you get to hang out with Coyote and Old Man Murray and such, but pretty much the afternoon doesn't have anything exciting happen. It's basic labor work that they have you do, cleaning up the kitchen. You don't get to prep no more meals at the time, just scrubbing walls and sinks. And, down in the maintenance room, Malachi, you can see that they have 6 of these wagons all lined up. Each one's a little bit different than the others that they've been putting together. Basically just kind of stocking them up full of, looks like tar pitch and hay and different things in the back of these things. In the laundry room, Kavil, Bolin seems to have new friends for the moment as she's kind of gathered to the side, still folding up underwear and other goodies, but you've been put over onto the press machine. Doesn't catch your hand.
No!
But
Okay.
it goes by fairly quick as you're just feeding laundry through this thing. And down in the sewers, you're able to get the lunch cleaned all up, put into the buckets, and drop down into the incinerator. Coyote's fast at work brainstorming. He tells you many ideas that he has, but he's going to work on it tonight, and he'll let you know tomorrow what the plan's going to be. He's got good plans. The best plans. The biggest plans. And with that, you all would be able to head back, have a small bit of bread and fruit for dinner, a vegetarian dinner this time, before you head back to your cells. And this time, they throw Malachi and Kavil in one cell, Quinn and Mithra, you in the opposite one across the way. You look around, it's not the same cell you were in before. You're different roommates, obviously, and it's across the way, but your big friend isn't across the way either. Instead, you just see that the cell across on the diagonal is going to be right beside Kavil and Malachi, right to your right, but it's sort of across the way corner, kitty corner from Mithra and Quinn. You can see the cell there. The bars are still there, but the whole thing is encased in glass. In the center, just standing there, is this naked man, blue skin, and he stands in a ring of salt, and he just stands there, never moves, never flinches.
What is going on here?
The other 2 cells that you guys can see kind of around you are just basic inmates who are sleeping on their cots. Nobody you've seen that seems to be of any interest, really.
I take out my panties while I'm staring at the blue man, and I look at Malachi. Well, we're having a problem here. I can't hide my panties.
I'm not giving you anything of mine.
What? I don't want your panty. And I stuff them back into my pants. So, what's your weapon of choice?
What? Why are you stuffing stuff down your pants and asking about my weapon of choice? What is happening here?
Listen, I'm up for a good joke, but we're playing with our lives here now. What? I mean, are you able to lift a weapon, or is that all you have? And I wiggle with my fingers.
I'm not lifting your weapon, champ. Like, okay, yeah, I can lift a weapon. My weapon of choice, I don't know. Give me a sword. Give Give me a hammer. Give me a stick.
We probably don't even get a weapon, if you ask me. Well, that will be interesting. So, and I peek out of the cell. Where are the other two? At the opposite again?
Yep, directly across the hallway from you.
So, plans?
You'll hear these heavy footsteps coming down the hallway. So you glance. There's a sentinel coming down. Has a small pouch in one of his hands. Stop in front of your cells. Look over at Kavil and Malachi. Turn. Look at Quinn. And then to Mithra. Says, "Hey, something came for you." He walks over and hands you this pouch through the bars, Mithra.
Okay. And now I got mail delivery in prison. This is pretty nice. What's the occasion?
He shrugs. Don't know. She just dropped it off. Said it was for you. Looks around. Lights are out. Turns and starts walking back down the hallway.
All right. Can I open it?
Yep. Inside is a silk veil, like you would wear for like a wedding or something across your face. Just a white silk veil.
All right. I have no idea what I'm supposed to do with this, but I'm gonna tuck it away into my pocket and keep it.
Wasn't it supposed to be for Quinn, maybe?
Well, I don't know. Who's the closest to me? Is there anyone who's like the...
Quinn is with you.
I mean, you're in a cell together.
All right. Do you know, I'm gonna look at Quinn. Do you know what's going on?
It's a silk what?
Veil, like you put on your face, like a silken veil.
I have no idea what this would be for.
I don't think it's for me.
Well, I'm not getting married as far as I know.
Well,
Hey.
I mean, I can say there's not too many suitors lining up to get with me.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like you could do okay here.
Thanks. That's really nice.
Yeah, I'll definitely. Malachi will be laughing at that one.
I'll lean up against the bars and just kind of like whisper, but I'll stage whisper because that's annoying to do in chat, and just in a low voice say, so obviously they're gonna want us to fight. I'm
Is it a
assuming.
race or is it a fight? I worked on these weird wagons today. I don't know what they really have to do with it, but I think they're for the pits.
You call it a speed pit or a shock pit?
Speed pit, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it is a race.
Well, judging on what you guys are saying, I'm going to assume that the body I saw go into the soup was probably from the pit.
what?
Well, I told you. I tried to tell you. It was not
Didn't say that.
animal meat.
Malachi will just kind of smile and say nothing.
Ugh.
I really wasn't 100% sure on that until you guys...
Listen, woman, we have to talk about our level of conversation.
Communication skills.
Mm.
All I'm saying is that I'm not too eager to be. I don't know, actually. If it's a race, that kind of changes everything.
What was your plan?
Oh, I
I want Canton to pay.
was gonna throw the fight, but if it's a race, that's gonna be a little trickier. I'm gonna assume it's not a one-on-one thing.
Well, wasn't there that festival or something a few years ago here in the city where there was a race, but they had to, clubber the other contestants from their wagons and such? I mean,
that sounds like a lot of fun. Can I history check? Is that a thing? Do the speed pits sound familiar? Have I already done this?
The speed pits themselves don't sound familiar, but you'll think about what Cavil's saying. And yeah, you do remember this happening in the city, just a basic little race through town where they're throwing some of the convicts of the city. I don't know if they're really from the prison or not, but they did a little, just your typical race down through the city, clubbing each other off the back of the horses or the wagons, and last man free was said to get out.
Maybe it's going to be a little bit different change of plans, but kind of playing off of what Mithra said.
Yeah, the loser or the winner that ends up in the soup.
Well, let's hope that none of us end up in the soup, but maybe I can think of this.
What are we going to do if they pit us against each other?
Seems like they already are. Kantos picked me. It seems like he set us up for that, but
he's putting us against Almishnik Cavil, putting us against her and him.
What do you know about him? You said you want him to pay. I'm assuming that you guys got off to a bad start. You're making enemies already?
They pulled a joke on me today and almost met my maker.
Well, what if we had some kind of male dominance pissing contest you were having or something like that?
I'm pretty sure you wouldn't mind if I got him back in a jolly little way. Seems like a joking group.
What if we play to the ego that he probably has, and I tell him that you learned a valuable lesson on who top dog is, and I'll see if I can convince him that we're going to work together until the end, and then I'll say that we'll just overthrow you guys. But then that gives us at least double the chances that one of us are winning, and I'm assuming the winner is going to get some kind of prize.
If there's another team, let's just make sure neither one of us lose.
Exactly.
Well, if they let us race through the town or through the city again, that could be a good moment to just,
not come back.
Into an alleyway.
You hear the screeching of these doors and footfalls coming down the hallway again.
I stopped talking.
Yeah, I'll wait for the guard that's probably
Just
coming.
kind of look at Mithra and, I don't know, smile or not smile, kind of like a weird mouth line.
He walks down, stops in front of your cells again. Thought I heard a bit of talking. Looks like you're being quiet.
We could get some pillows for the little girls' night we're having in here. And I'll put my arm around Mithra's arms.
Well, don't mean to get you jealous, Quinn, but your friend has another package. And he'll pull out the slip of paper from his back pocket and hand it through the bars to you, Mithra.
What is going... All right.
He says, don't make me lay the smack down on you kids. Time for bed. Turns and walks away, the footfalls disappearing down the hallway and the cranking of the doors as it slams shut again.
So this is a letter or a package?
A letter.
Okay, I want to read it right now.
Snap it open. It says at the top, place number 5, Coradal and Mithra.
Okay. This is probably the setup for tomorrow, I would assume.
Oh, that's not good news for you, my friend.
Why? Who is this person I'm up against?
Well, I'll kind of tilt your head to where I imagine there's probably still the mark from you being choked out, and say the little friend that you made, the big, massive, nasty half-orc that tried to kill you. That's Coradal.
Oh, wonderful. Does anyone else find it weird that somebody's trying to give me a heads up about this? I mean, not that I'm complaining, but...
You're attractive. Cavil nods.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't like me usually, just based on the way I look, to be quite honest.
Well, it depends on the person.
I mean, the bearer of bad news, but not a lot of people like any of us individuals down here. We're kind of the outcasts of society, so if you ever have a chance to fit in, this might be one of those places.
Bolin likes me.
Kind of sad realizing you're probably right.
Well, let's just hope that whoever's looking out for you will help you out during these races. Kavil, you were saying something. You got an idea who that might be?
I don't know more than you do.
Fair enough.
Maybe
Well,
one of the guards?
no offense, I think the sooner that Mithra and Cordal are out of the race, the safer it might be for her. I don't know.
Not even sure how she jumped into these races, but we'll have to make sure we all survive them.
Oops, sorry, I'm on.
Oh, go ahead. Did she freeze up?
She is frozen.
Very much. But a lucky frame.
Thank you.
There.
You're back. You froze for a second there, Mither. What did you say?
Yeah, sorry, I just got a internet unstable pop up. Yeah, I don't really know what we're gonna do about tomorrow, but I mean, I guess we know I'm up first, so.
I think that we're all going to be racing against each other, and the warden probably picked the most dramatic and bullshit teams he could. I also highly doubt that the guards will have a loose grip on this. I feel like I don't know what kind of arrangements they're going to have, but I doubt that our chances to escape will be during those races. I mean, if something comes up, then obviously we go for it, but I don't know if I would like know anything about it, if I could make like a history check, but I imagine they have like some kind of fucking defense system from people just running away from this, because that seems like too.
Yeah, for sure. You know, there is the alarms in the prison to begin with, and anything that happens to the guard, it'll go off. Excuse me. Plus, yeah, you can figure they probably have something. The warden's pretty strict.
And we have these collars, right? So we're kind of prevented from using our best magic.
Yep.
Do I know anything about the prizes for who wins these things?
You have not heard a peep.
Well, I'm assuming that we don't want to win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I said, I'm pretty sure I might have ran into the loser this afternoon.
Well, my kind of plan's up in the air now. But say we look out for each other the best we can, but don't make it obvious.
Let's see what happens.
I'm on board with that.
So all of you sit down on your cots and sort of try to relax after this long day. All the while, still over in this opposite cell, encased in glass, is this man, blue skin, standing within his circle of salt. You will notice that his eyes slowly drift over and just, he's kind of kitty corner for you guys, but just watching. Never really says anything, doesn't really move. Doesn't really take much interest either, as his eyes will go back, just staring straight ahead, unblinking, unmoving. Doing anything else tonight before you take your rest?
I mean, I got some bread and fruit. Does that mean I can sleep off my exhaustion?
You can.
Hey, I'll take it.
I stole a couple things from the kitchen. Can I eat them?
Yeah.
Alright.
I'll try to see if I can get this guy talking and just be like, "Hey man, you look weird. What's the deal?"
His eyes will lazily sort of look over in your direction. That's it. Just silence.
Nothing? You got nothing? How do you stand there for so long, man? That looks weird.
Just silence.
Isn't that a summoning circle? And I point at the salt on the ground.
Doesn't look like he's summoning much. Maybe it's a don't move circle?
Well, maybe he was summoned into the circle, and now he's supposed to stay in there.
I guess that could be how it works. Yeah, that makes sense.
Why am I telling you that?
I never learned that shit.
Or
I
you
paid
could
attention at the academy?
Paranoid psychopath, thinking that the salt's going to ward him off from the big scary demons and devils.
Buddy, is the salt there to keep you there, or did you get summoned into the salt? What's the deal?
Just stares at you, unmoving, unblinking.
Can you blink? Can you blink once for yes and twice for no, man? Nothing, huh?
Nothing.
How do you go pee? Do you pee inside the salt and you gotta smell it all day, or do you go pee outside of the salt? Like, I don't get it. Somebody come and clean it up?
I lift a hand
Nothing, huh?
for a high five, and then I realize that's stupid, and I put it down again.
Okay, man. Well, I guess I'll leave you alone.
You'll notice as you guys lay down and start to sleep, but you sleep rather fitfully, Meike. Every time you open your eyes, you'd roll over to get comfortable, whatever, and sort of glance across. This man in the circle is just staring at you nonstop through the entire night. Morning will eventually roll around, and you finally pull yourself off the cot, Meike, feeling quite tired. Not going to take any exhaustion points or nothing, but definitely a fitful sort of sleep. And look across, and he's still standing, just still staring directly at you. His eyes never leaving yours.
Can I help you, man? Something I can do for you?
Just stares. You guys will hear the opening of the doors down the hallway as the guard comes through, their nightsticks, their batons, rapping against the bar cells in the doorways as they make their way down the hallway, waking everybody up. You can hear the crank as your cell doors slam open and everybody starts filing down to the leisure basin for breakfast. Another day getting ready.
Can I ask one of the guards who that guy is? Will they talk to me?
Well, one of the sentinels will stop as you kind of motion for him. What do you say?
Like, not trying to bother you, sir, but who the hell is that guy?
Looks over at this person. Looks. What do you want to know about him for?
I don't know. He just kind of looks cool. Something, he kind of looks like somebody I would like to get to know.
Don't really know the story. Something dark, something else is what he is. Nye Claire, this is what he goes by, or something like that. Every now and then his features will change, his skin color will morph. Never moves, never walks. We're not allowed to open his cell. Come on, time for breakfast.
All right.
As you walk past Meike, his eyes still never leave yours. Though you never really seen him move, he does now as his head will circle around just watching you until you're out of sight.
I'll wave, but not a cocky wave, like a, hey man, kind of wave. Like, how you doing?
He does not do anything in return, just watches.
That's cool.
Down in this leisure basin, everybody is grabbing their food, putting their plates on, and sitting down, you'll see Murray across the way. And the whole place is filled with a bit of excitement. And you'll even see Rao Khan. He is the assistant warden, dressed in his suit as he makes his way through. You don't see the warden, though. You've only heard of him. You haven't seen him yet. But Rao Khan, every now and then, he shows up, this tall, very lithe-like half-orc, real dark ebony skin, and he moves with this feline sort of grace through the crowd. Every now and then he'll smile and talk to the sentinels. He doesn't really speak to anybody as far as the inmates go, except for Cantos. He'll stop at him for a moment and he talks to the two of them. Both of them will sort of offer a bit of a laugh and a smile before they shake hands, and he makes his way towards the kitchen area. Guys, sit down to eat. Do you do anything at the breakfast table?
I mean, do I see Cantos?
Yeah, he's down there.
I'll go walk up to him and say, "What's up?"
Says, I hope you have a heavier set of balls than your brother does. It's going to be a hell of a ride today.
Oh yeah, what do we got ourselves into? I'm new around here.
Don't worry about it. It'll come natural once you sit down in the seat. Gonna be my riding partner. I take the wheel, you navigate.
Sounds
Just as
great.
long as you make sure we don't hit nothing that blows our ass apart, we'll be good. Gotta win this, though.
I'm glad to have such an experienced, and well, if I'm going to be honest, muscular-looking individual like yourself. Kind of smile. And what do you know what the prize is? Sounds like it's quite good.
Sure. No, that's all up to the warden. He hasn't made his decision yet. Might be dinner with him, perhaps some red wine and candlelight. I'm not much for that myself, but it's something you might like. Maybe it's freedom. Maybe it's a vault of cash. I don't know yet. I just know you don't want to lose, because there's only one winner. Hell, maybe winning is just living. But you don't got to worry about it. We got this in the bag already, Quinn. Sorry about your brother. Care to have breakfast?
Yeah, why not? I'd love to hear more, though. This sounds quite dangerous. I think the more you tell me, the better our chances are. I'd hate to just be like caught off guard and make a critical error.
You're smooth one, Quinn.
I'll go to Old Man Monroe and try to do the same thing. Try to figure out what the pits are, what to look out for.
This Cantos will look at you and I don't quite play that game, Quinn. Do I look like some sort of idiot to you? We'll fill you in once we're strapped in. Don't you worry, though. Across the way, you'll see Meike get up and make his way over to Murray. This old man will look up, picking at his gruel, not really eating much. Says, looks like Cantos got you into a bit of a situation, my friend.
Yeah, what is this situation?
Don't really know myself. Seems the warden has some entertainment up his sleeve. From what I hear, with those wagons, there's going to be a bit of a race around the speed pits. I ain't seen them myself, but from the rumors I heard, there's only one winner.
You seem to know those wagons better than anybody else. You got any tips? Maybe certain places I should look to hit or protect?
Tell you what, I got to go down and do a couple little preps. I'll make a note for you. I'll be under your seat.
Quite a guy. Thanks a lot, old man. Bro.
Says, yeah, no mention it. Sorry about your sister.
What do you mean?
Says, well, if you want to win this race, and I can help you at least try, then your sister ain't getting out if she's riding with him. So there's only one winner. But I'm just trying to be polite. I know what it's like to lose people you love.
It's only one winner or one winning team?
No, one winning team. But I'll put a couple notes under your seat. Just make sure you don't let the others see. They'd kill you for cheating on the spot. And I ain't going down with you.
Fair enough.
Says, no, why don't you head on over so they don't see me talking to you. He'll go back to eating his gruel.
Walk away and kind of look at Quinn with a longing look in my eyes and questioning shrug to the shoulders.
Feel this heavy shoulder slam up against your back, Meike. Just kind of shoved out of the way by this massive half-orc as he passes by, just covered in scars. He has one single tooth that comes up and curls. Oh, and it passed his nose towards his eye. You've seen Corridal around a few times. Normally he's on the other block, but it seems he's been with yours today as he just moves right past you, kind of shoves you out of the way and makes his way over to the table where Mithra's sitting, takes a seat across the table from you.
Looks like you're riding with me.
Okay, do I know you? I don't feel like we've met.
This would be the half-orc that choked you out in the very beginning.
Oh, okay. Alright, so
Says, I get to finish the job I started. I can win this by myself. You're just an insurance policy.
what's your deal, man? You're being kind of like...
Because I hate drow. I hate elves. I hate humans. I hate gnomes. I dislike halflings.
You hate a lot of things. It sounds like a lot of work. And trust me, I'm used to people hating me, so, I mean, I'm not super offended.
Well, I'll see you when you get strapped in. And he pulls a small piece of paper out of his pocket, looks at it for a few, looks at you, looks at the paper, puts it back in, shoves the seat out of the way, turns and starts walking away, shouldering past Malachi once again, sort of snorts in the air at you.
While he's going past Malachi, I'm just going to cough a couple times. And one of the coughs is actually going to be me trying to set the cantrip poison spray. It's going to basically come out of like my mouth like it would, almost like a snake, but in a gaseous form. And I'm just going to try to like get a whiff in there on this giant orc without him necessarily knowing.
Was it a con save on his part?
Yeah. DC 12.
He'll stop, look at you for a moment, gives that a little bit of a cough as he passes by and starts walking away. Take 1 point of damage, though, for casting that spell as you feel this collar around your neck heat up and sort of sizzle into the back of your neck. You can hear him sniffling a little bit as he walks away and lets out a couple more coughs. And Kavil, you can see this assistant warden, this black-skinned orc, come over to you, looks you up and down a few times. Says, you're riding with Malachi.
We're smart.
And what are the odds you think you're gonna win?
Well, we win, period.
Very well. Just walked past you, making his way over to some of the others and talking to them.
I try to listen in, like leaning over a little bit.
Give me a perception.
Perception. 12.
He'll stop and he speaks to this gnome-looking fellow. Has a bit of a red mohawk coming down, the tattoos on the side of each of his head. Quite small in stature, this big belly. His Raukan leans in. All you can hear him say is that the wheel's been loosened. He gives this little gnome a nod and he keeps on walking past.
Oh, so Kavil is staring for a moment, like thinking, and then, oh. And I sit up back straight in my chair. Malachi, we might have a problem here.
What you got?
I think they might fiddle around with our transportation.
And Malachi will look around and I'll look back at Kavil and be like, I think I might have that taken care of.
Oh? Well, good.
Let's just keep it to ourselves for now, but we'll make sure to do a walk around when we get into our wagon.
Mm-hmm.
Roughly 15, 20 minutes pass, and then you'll see the sentinels, hundreds of them, start coming down the stairwells, coming through the doors and making this ring around the whole leisure basin. A couple of them will come over to you, Quinn, Canton, kind of start leading you guys away. Do the same with Malachi, Kavil. Cordal will come over, puts his arm around you, Mithra, smiling, this one huge tusk as he looks at you. You can see just the absolute evil in his eye as he does so. 2 guards begin to escort you away, everybody sort of splitting off in different directions. All the rest of the people are ushered out the different door to the side. Nobody's been out that door, so you don't know where it leads, but you get the sense they're going to the pits or to watch the entertainment. Each of these guards will lead the team of you to separate rooms. You'll go down a few hallways, go through the west block and through some doors. Malachi, you'll recognize some of the same trip towards the maintenance rooms, but you end up taking a different branch off. Eventually, they'll stop in front of these doors, leading you in. And each room is like a small storage shed type size, about 20 foot by 20 foot. But each one has these wagons lined up in these big, looks like door gates in the front of you that would roll up into the ceiling. You can hear just screaming and cheering from beyond these gates. Each one has a number. Mithra and Cordal, yours is 5. Kavil, Malachi, yours is 8. Quinn, Canton, yours is 2.
I'll look to Kavil and I'll be like, check the tire. And I'll jump up and I'll open up the seat and I'll take a look underneath the seat.
And I nod and walk around the vehicle.
Give me a perception. Actually, give me better history. Give me an investigation, Malachi. Or I'm sorry, Kavil.
11. Oh, 10.
Looks pretty good. You give each wheel a kick and kind of look at it. So you're not really the mechanical maintenance-y sort of type, but seems good enough.
Seems good enough.
Underneath the seat as you lift it up, Malachi, kind of glance, you see a piece of paper. It's folded up, unfolding it. Looks to be this huge oval sort of shape. And you can see it kind of looks like a map of maybe a road course is kind of what you figure it is. Every now and then there will be an X on there in the middle of the road. And down at the bottom it says, avoid the X's.
Okay, hopefully that son of a gun took a look at this damn wagon before we left.
What are you saying?
All right, listen, Kavil.
The wagon you
left this.
Sorry, go ahead.
This is what we need to avoid. Yeah, and I'll explain to Kavil the map that I got and how the old man Monroe and how important it is not to let this information get out. But the old man Monroe let us know that these X's are to be avoided. And then I'll actually crumple up the paper and I'll eat it.
Tastes about as good as the meat the night before, but glancing into the back, this wagon that you are at, Malachi, looks pretty close to the one you were working on. It's made a little bit different, and you can see that it's been outfitted with some extra goodies. On either side of it is a crossbow that's been strapped, along with a quiver of 10 bolts. 20 bolts total, 2 crossbows on either side. On the back of it is this, looks to be sort of like a catapult-looking thing that's been hinged back. There is a torch, a pitch of oil, and a small box of coals. There's 4 barrels full of pitch and hay.
I'm going to take one of the bolts, slide it into my shirt.
And I will send you pictures of your other people that have wagons and stuff, but each one of you is going to have a wagon in your small little chamber. Wagons all look a little bit different, and you're a little bit outfitted differently, but these gates will start to roll up as all of you get strapped in, and you'll just see this crowd of inmates, probably a good 400 or so, ringed around this dirt track. And we will end it there for the evening.
Nice.